Hello and welcome. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Metro Tech, and Chuck Davis State Farm. I'm your play-by-play guy, Devin Bajek, and with me in the booth is my main man, who will be the color analyst, Jamin Dawson. How you doing tonight, JD?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Never better. It's just another night at the office.
And we've got two winless teams, 0-5 John Marshall, 0-5 Shawnee, both trying to find that first dub of the season. Something's got to give. Should we get into it?
Let's do it, man.
All right, so tonight's matchup, we've got John Marshall led by Chris Burris, the head coach. He's got three grandkids, Corey, Nyari, and Kai. And then we've got Shawnee led by Jason Sexton. He was previously at Midwest City and Muskogee. Both these teams, as we said, are looking for their first win. Shawnee, they've been beaten by Seminole 16-0, Ardmore 28-14, Blanchard 40-13, Bishop McGuinness 63-13, and last week they lost to Carl Albert 59-7. John Marshall lost to Lawton MacArthur 43-18, Bethany 41-6, Heritage Hall 43-0, Clinton 29-0, and last week they lost to Chickasha 31-14. This is also the last non-district game for both of these teams, and it's also John Marshall's homecoming. Jamin, what are some of your keys to the game as we get ready for this one to get underway?
Well, like you said, we're looking at two winless teams, so the focal point of this game is going to be who wants it more. And even more than that, who wants to play better, clean, efficient football. When you talk about a winless team, there are just things in between the lines that you got to clean up. That means pre-snap. That means at the snap, everybody communicating. We just have to hit on all cylinders. And then, it's about that dog. Who really wants this win? Who wants to fight and claw it out? Is it going to be the Bears or is it going to be the Wolves?
And I mean, one win could really change the atmosphere of your season. We talked about John Marshall. If they get a win tonight, that could really kind of boost. They've got a young squad. Davian Taylor at quarterback. He's someone they're going to want to get more experience. Next season really is the building point, but you've got to keep your mind on the present and get the first building block. We've seen this team struggle at times, but also be very productive in like against Clinton when the scoreboard says they got shut out, but honestly they probably should have hung 3 touchdowns on them.
Right. But again, it comes down to those minor things. We had some false starts that were very detrimental to us. We didn't have many turnovers, which is a good sign coming down the stretch into the season. But like you just said, it's a young team. Long as Shawnee, they're a young team as well. They only have 10 seniors, so they're relying on those four guys, key guys. They're going to play at skill positions. Let's see here. We have Jalen Hicks. He's a senior. He's a wide receiver as well as a defensive back. We have number 3, Ren Carter. He's going to be an impact player as well. But the biggest one we have is running back Landon Davis Barkis. He's going to be a running back as well as a linebacker. Last year he had 579 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns to go along with 111 tackles at linebacker along with 14 sacks. So he's a monster on both sides of the ball. It's just how are they going to utilize him the most?
As far as John Marshall, I think we've mentioned Davian Taylor. We've got to see Mikel Jackson. We've seen whenever he gets the ball, good things happen. Who are some of the other John Marshall Bears that you were looking at tonight as impact guys?
Let's see, we got Chaz Guilford. I mean, he plays a lot on both sides of the ball. I mean, he's a workhorse as running back, and on defense, he's running from sideline to sideline. We got, of course, Davian Taylor, the youngin we've seen at quarterback for most of the season. Let's see, Dorian Middleton, he plays a lot. We see him make plenty plays. They kind of like to run the game through him, get the game started through him. So look for him to get some early touches. Mikel Jackson, he's had a lot of sparks when he gets the ball, so we want to see them take shots to him down the field when they choose to do so.
And shout out to Angel De Leon. He's going to miss the game tonight, number 55, the senior, but he was the homecoming king. So that's something. I wasn't homecoming king in high school. I know that, but
I wasn't even in the court, DB.
so hey, at least we know that he can hang his hat on that as he's going to miss tonight's game. We're about 4.5 minutes from this one getting underway. I believe we're going to take a pause here as the national anthem is close to happening. So we'll take a break here. And welcome back. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony and Metro Tech and Chuck Davis State Farm. SSM Health St. Anthony's, let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital help you get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405 218 2530. 218 2530.
And our other sponsor, we have Metro Technology Centers. Metro Technology Centers offers great courses and programs to allow you to have a great career. Learn more at metrotech.edu. That's metrotech.edu.
And our last sponsor of the pregame, Chuck Davis State Farm. Let State Farm Chuck Davis take care of you. Give him a call today at 405 378 8008. That's 378 8008. And our captains for John Marshall tonight, that's going to be Dorian Middleton, Shaz Gulford, and Creighton Sandersfield. So we'll see if they win the toss. Are you a heads guy, tails guy? What do you usually go with?
Freaky Tails never fails, DB. I'm going to roll with it.
I feel that my dad always used to say tails never fails, even if it did. So not much you can do about it. But we're getting ready to have the coin toss. Shawnee, they've got some of their captains out there. I'm not sure what the numbers are on
I think
that.
I can make them out. See, from the middle, we got number 70, Trevor Thomason, the senior offensive lineman. And on the far left, we got number 54, Jason Witherspoon, senior offensive lineman as well. And to round it out, we have number 32 for the Wolves. We have Devin Russell, senior as well, wide receiver / defensive back.
So we'll see how it all happens here. It's one of the most intriguing parts of the matchup is we still decide, who gets the ball with a coin.
I mean, and it's fun, DB. It's an honor to be chosen as a captain and to participate in the coin toss, but as well as making the decision. Some coaches have a motive in going into it
No
as
doubt.
far as what they want to call side of the coin, the side of the field they want to kick it to, everything. It's all philosophized.
I was a captain my senior year at Union, and our coach always had either, heads or tails or, what's side of the field we wanted, or if we wanted the ball, He made all the decisions. I was just the mouthpiece. Looks like John Marshall is going to defer to the second half, so Shawnee will get the ball to start the game. So I like the strategy by John Marshall. Let's play defense. Let's smack him in the mouth.
Let's play ball.
As we're kind of gearing to get this one started up, Shaz Gulford leading the rest of the captains, Dorian Middleton, Creighton Sandersfield. Key players for these John Marshall Bears tonight.
It's a beautiful night out here, DB, at Taft Stadium.
Beautiful Taft Stadium. We got some Thursday night football. I know I've heard about Dangerous, Russell Wilson, and Matty Ice playing tonight. I don't know what that's about. I got John Marshall, Shawnee. That's the game tonight.
Yeah, definitely. But you said who's playing again?
Dangerous and Matty Ice.
I don't know. That's a very mid matchup if you're asking me. But Jonathan Taylor's going to try to play. I know he was questionable.
He's
but
not.
He's not going to play?
Nope.
Okay, well, I retract my statement. We're going to go with the Denver Broncos. Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride. And let's ride tonight for John Marshall. I don't know if you can ride Bears, but that should be a thing.
Hey, if you're a dangerous man, I feel like you can.
Well, you've seen Russell Wilson's ad. He talks about what's one of the most dangerous things you've done. And I'd say riding a bear would probably be up there. I've never tried it, but we see John Marshall run out of their little inflatable tunnel. Always thought it was cool to be a flag guy.
Yeah, I never got the honor, but honestly, I was cool on that. That means you have to be in the front. You have to run fast.
You do have to
hold
run
the
fast.
flag. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of responsibility. You got to be willing to take that on.
As it was big number 71, Traquan Johnson, and number 5, Shaz Gulford. They were the two flag carriers. Should be a good game, though. Chris Burris trying to get his guys motivated, trying to set a foundation for year one. And, the previous year they were 3-7, before he got here. So, honestly, if you can get to 3 wins again, that's a big step.
And speaking for these fans out here, this is a team that 5 or 6 years ago were in state championships and winning state championships.
Oh, trust me.
They definitely want to get back to that level. The fans know what their Bears are capable of, so we want to see Coach Bears keep making a valiant effort. These guys are hungry. We have quite a bit of seniors on this team, so we want to see a different bite out of these Bears tonight.
Well, we do know, in fact, that John Marshall, they had Devontae Lee. He played at Nevada. He was a bruiser. Justin Broyles, another guy I can think out of the top of my head. Brandon Nigel, he went to Memphis. Rest in peace. Uh, he passed away, I believe, last year.
Yes, sir.
But some really good players John Marshall has had in the recent past and just historically. But looks like we're going to get this one underway. Been waiting on this one all day, man.
All day and all night.
As Shaz Golford looks like he's going to kick this one off. I don't believe we've seen him kick since I've called games for
No,
John
we have
Marshall.
not. Alongside with you, I haven't seen him do it yet.
Shawnee's going to have 3 returners in the backfield. And it's going to be a sky kick. Oh, it's dropped by Shawnee, and it's going to go out of bounds. I believe number 27 for Shawnee, Jason Hare, had it, went right through his hands, out of bounds. So Shawnee's going to get this one started at their own, believe it's going to be their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't ready for that short kick. I'm not sure if that was the strategy for the Bears, but it almost worked in their favor as he was kind of almost running a route to the ball, catching it, but he just couldn't hold on to it. It rolls out in Shawnee's favor as they line up to get started tonight.
So Shawnee at their own 36-yard line, as I previously mentioned. Quarterback's going to be in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got his running back to his right as well. Quarterback is going to get the snap. He's going to hand it off to the running back, number 5, and he's going to do a spin move, run over a guy, and fall forward for about 6 or 7 yards. It's going to be Landon Davis. We mentioned him earlier to start off the broadcast.
Yeah, and he gets the first touch of the game, so we want to get some good momentum from him. We've heard a lot about him, so we want to see what he could do. John Marshall had a slight switch in their formation. They just switched a little bit before that play started. I wonder why.
As we see, it's going to be 2nd and about 4 for Shawnee. We'll see what this offense has in store for us. Jameer Owens, the quarterback. They're going to be in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Running back to the left of the quarterback. Owens gets the snap, and it's going to be a handoff again to the running back, Landon Davis, and that's going to go nowhere.
And that was a great job by the 2 senior Bears blowing that up. We had 58, Creighton Sanderson, and number 1, we've already talked about quite a bit, Dorian Middleton.
So it's going to be 3rd and about 5. They might have lost a little bit of yardage on that. So big play, like you said, by Captain Creighton Sandersfield as he leads by example, as we'll see what quarterback Jameer Owens has in store for his offense here.
And for the Bears, it's going to be a great job sticking to those run fits like they did on that previous play. That's going to be a key factor in winning this game. It's limiting how many plays and chances Shawnee has.
Shawnee in the shotgun. Owens fires that to his left, caught by number 3, but he's going to be short of the first down. It looks like that was Ren Carter, on the catch, the senior. So 4th and 1, Shawnee at their own 45. I think they might punt it here. A little bit of a formation substitution. 10 minutes left in this first quarter. 4th and 1, Shawnee at their own 45.
I think they're playing it a little safe. I'm not going to say it's a bad strategy. Of course, you want to play conventional, but
First drive of the game.
First drive of the game, I feel like that was a great catch on 3rd down, 4th and 1 situation. I feel like you trust your running back will run the ball, but they want to go with the punt.
And it looks like right now it's going to be a 3 and out for the first drive for Shawnee. That punt's going to hit at the 40 of John Marshall and bounce to John Marshall's about 20. They're going to mark it at the 29. So John Marshall going to get their first drive at the 29-yard line.
Great job by the John Marshall Bears getting some pressure on that punt. It was nearly blocked, but the kicker gets it off successfully. Number 35, Toby Nave.
So Shawnee, they had their first drive, 3 and out. They started their own 36 and 3 plays, and they're done. As John Marshall going to come on offense, 1st and 10, 9:51 left in the first quarter. Ball at John Marshall's 29-yard line.
We got Dorian Middleton back at quarterback for the first play.
A little bit of wildcat action. Empty backfield. They're going to motion one of the receivers. It's going to be a pre-snap penalty. That play is not going to even matter. False start. Believe that's going to be on number 76, Josiah Leal.
And these are the things we want to limit for the Bears. These are the things that have
These have been the killers.
Exactly. It's killed them. It's spoiled plenty of fruitful drives, and we just want to see them clean it up over the course of this game. Yes, it is the first drive. It could still be some nerves there, but you want to see them continue to fight and just be cohesive.
1st and 15 here. Middleton still empty. He's going to motion one of his receivers, Mikael Jackson, to the right. It's going to be a little orbit pass to him. Almost intercepted. Wow. Almost intercepted. He had reservations for 6 if he'd have held on to that.
Yeah, he did. I mean, the defender played the ball very well. That was number 10 for the Wolves, Ryan High. But for the quarterback, you want to zip that ball out. You want to get it quick. There was the same play they called on the first play. It seems like Mikael Jackson motioned behind the quarterback to get the ball, but maybe if he stays in front, he gets a better position to get that ball off.
A little bit of that orbit motion action around the quarterback, Mikael Jackson. As Middleton, looks like we're going to see Middleton more of, at quarterback this game, as they're going to do the same thing, motion Mikael Jackson, and Middleton's going to keep it up the middle. He's going to take this one to the right side of the field, go 40, 45, tackled at about the 48-yard line, and that's a big explosive play, and that's not going to be a bear trap.
And not a bear trap by far. Again, we get that Wildcat package, just a design run. He runs it straight up the gut, runs along the yardage line, and just finds green grass. And great job.
And that's going to set up a Big O's Pork and Dreams first down. Middleton, empty set, single receiver to the right, three receivers to the left. He's got a H-back to the right of the formation as well. Middleton's going to look to his left, fire to his left, and that one's a little bit high, intended for Mikael Jackson.
And he throws it over the whole offense and defense as we try to run a little not stop and go, formation, but about a 5-yard in route, listeners, and it's just unsuccessful. We want to see the quarterback calm down a little bit, stick with some more runs possibly, get him to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. They're going to stay in the empty formation here. Two receivers to the left and right. They've got an H-back to the right of the formation, 9:15 left in this first quarter. They're going to motion number 4 to the left side of the formation. Motion 17 as well, and it's going to be a handoff to 17. 17 is going to put his foot in the ground, get up the field, and he's going to get into.
And he loses the football.
Oh, as he put his foot up, as he put his foot in the ground to go up the field, it looks like it got stripped, but it's going to be recovered by John Marshall. Very fortunate bounce. They're in Shawnee territory. It's going to be 3rd and about 7 at the Shawnee 49 or 48.
Yeah, very lucky on that play. Kyle Drennan gets the ball in the backfield, and he does a great job planting his foot and getting upfield, but you have to protect the football at all costs. Can't give the defense any chances to get that ball back.
So about 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 9 minutes and ticking in this first quarter. John Marshall in the shotgun, two receivers to the right, single receiver to the left, quarterback with the running back to his right. It's going to be a little bit of a screen pass to Mikael Jackson. He's going to take that to the sideline. He's going to go to about the 44-yard line. Going to set up about 4th and 2 or 4th and 3. So, and as there is a flag on the sideline, it looks like. Waiting to see if they're going to let us know what it is. Looks like it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct face mask, or excuse me, personal foul face mask. So 15 yards, and that's going to extend the John Marshall drive.
And these things are going to be very beneficial for the Bears. We haven't seen much of Shawnee. We didn't have a lot of stats in our research, but we're going to see how they respond.
Yeah, and John Marshall, they get this ball at the Shawnee 29-yard line, and they're driving. Got some momentum here with Middleton at quarterback. The captain, Middleton at quarterback, in the empty. Two receivers to the left, two receivers to the right. We've got an H-back to the right of the formation as well. Middleton's going to keep that, go to the right side. He's going to hit the 30, 25, and run on a bounce at about the 25. So they gain about 4 yards on that. They're going to set up 2nd and 6 with 8:26 left in the first quarter.
And great job lead blocking the tackle, number 76, Josiah Lee. Excuse me, hopefully I'm saying that right, Josiah. Josiah Lee, senior offensive and defensive lineman for the Bears.
And we see John Marshall here just having no problem running the football. Middleton going to stay in at quarterback. Two receivers to the left and two receivers to the right. Tied in. Lined up at H-back to the right. 17 in motion. And it's going to be Middleton on the keeper. And he's going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a yard or two. Big play there by Shawnee.
Seems like Shawnee's getting a little acclimated, or at least a little more calm. They're playing the run a little more, playing the Wildcat and the quarterback closely. That was a great job.
It was a great job by Laren Thomas there for Shawnee. I noticed him on that play coming from the linebacker spot, flowing over the top. Be 3rd and 8. What are you looking here for John Marshall? They haven't had a lot of success throwing it.
Haven't had a lot of success. You want to see them run the ball. You want to mix in some runs, keep the offense honest. I don't know the scheme, but it's working for them. They're getting downfield. We haven't seen them get this far downfield in their opening drive in any of the games we've covered.
That is true here. 3rd and about 7 for Middleton in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's going to fire it out to Mikael Jackson. Mikael Jackson is going to – looks like he almost made a guy miss, but tripped up. He gains about 2 yards maybe on the play, so it's going to be 4th and 5 from Shawnee's 25 maybe. We're still waiting to see where they mark the ball. Looks like it's going to be at Shawnee's 26, excuse me. So they were lucky to gain a yard.
I like the play call. That's not bad. Setting up on the third down, wanting to get the ball to the speedster, but he just doesn't prosper in green grass. His number 20 comes up. Dietrich Beavers, the corner, makes a great job in open field, setting up the fourth down for the Bears.
And they're going to take this on 4th and 7. Middleton looks to his left. He's going to fight. No, pump fake, and he loses the ball. And it's a loose ball. We're going to see who falls on top of it. I think Middleton fell on top of it, but it will be Shawnee ball. Disastrous play on 4th down as they decide to go for it. Shawnee ball at, I believe, Shawnee's own 49-yard line. 6:51 left in the first quarter.
Yep, not sure if I agree with the call. It's very aggressive, but again, you have nothing to lose with two winless teams on your first drive. Quarterback at the time, Dorian Middleton, he doesn't play quarterback very often, tries to pump fake, but he's unsuccessful, loses the ball, but luckily they get to midfield. They don't get too far away to set up Shawnee.
Still, just one of those bear trap plays as we've been talking about. As you know, John Marshall, they take 2 steps forward and take 3 steps back as they just hurt themselves like they just did right there.
And again, the focal point for these two winless teams is just play clean, efficient football and just play hard, play tough, but not too tough to where you're playing outside of yourself.
Jameer Owens in the shotgun. He's got 2 H-backs to the left of this formation.
Got some early
in the
movement
shotgun,
on
it's
that.
going to be a toss to number 5, and he's going to go nowhere as John Marshall has 2 Bears back there to meet him.
More importantly, number 6, Terrence Caldwell, making that open field tackle.
And
Junior for the Bears.
Kylan Drennan in on that tackle, the senior as well. Really good physical play right there from both of those Bears, as we need more of that. As 2nd and 15 for Shawnee, 6:25 and ticking. Shawnee at their own 45-yard line. And we'll see what Shawnee decides to do here. Jameer Owens, a pretty good athlete himself. We'll see if they decide to do a little bit more run game with the quarterback.
Yep, he's a young guy, so he's getting a lot of experience. It's a lot of sophomores playing for these Shawnee Wolves. You like to see him expand his game and maybe make a name for himself tonight.
In the shotgun, Shawnee, 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Owens moving out to his right. Or excuse me, that was going to be Zion Campbell, excuse me, on that play. Zyron.
Great athleticism by the quarterback, Jameer Owens, rolling completely out of that pocket, almost to the sideline and gunning it. Looked like a clean throw, but just outside the field of play.
On that play, it was actually Zyron Campbell, the freshman at quarterback. So
Excuse me, quarterback Zyron Campbell.
Hey, I did notice it. They are built very similar, but it looks like they're going to go with the young freshman now.
Nah, great job scratching my back, DB.
Hey, I said it wrong. Had to make sure we didn't repeat it. Zyron Campbell and at quarterback, he's got his running back, number 5, Landon Davis. We talked about him in the pregame show. Shawnee in the shotgun. And he's going to roll out to his right. Nope, it's going to be a delayed handoff, and Davis is going to try to make something work. He makes 2 guys miss. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, and he's going to truck a guy and get tackled at the John Marshall, I believe, 17-yard line. What a play by Davis.
What a play. Not sure if that was planned or not, but the delayed handoff is successful, and he puts his physicality on full display as he knocks a few defenders, does a stiff arm as he gets across midfield, and he just shoulders through his last defender, just showing him that he's going to be there, hitting him all night.
And just a physical run, and you see the elusiveness there and the acceleration. You know, the elusiveness to get away from those defenders and the acceleration to go down the sideline and get into the red zone. It's going to be a OKC Dodgers Baseball Foundation impression printing red zone opportunity here for Shawnee. As we see Campbell at quarterback, it's going to be a handoff to number 20. 20 is going to take the wide receiver sweep and go nowhere, lose about 2 or 3 yards. That was Dietrich Beavers on the carry.
Yeah, Dietrich Beavers is his first carry of the night. They want to move him in a jet sweep as he's one of the speedsters for the team, but that's a great job being gap sound by senior number 58, Creighton Sandersfield.
And it's going to be about 2nd and 13 for Shawnee, 4:59 and ticking in this first quarter. Had a very explosive play by the back, Landon Davis, and then one really negative play. So we'll see if they try to go get some more positive yards, see if they do something more simple here on this play.
That was a great play by Will linebacker, the weak side linebacker, Shaz Guilford, for the John Marshall Bears.
Campbell in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. He's going to fire it. No, he's going to pump fake it, and he's going to jump pass, and that's going to be a duck as he gets that one thrown away. There is a flag in the backfield. I'm not sure if that's going to be holding, late hit. We'll see what the ref has to say. But that pass was definitely shot.
Yep. I'm no referee, and I don't want to be either, but I saw the force by Dorian Middleton on the edge, and it seems like he might have been held a little bit. Let's see what the referees have to say about that.
And they're asking Chris Burris something, so maybe they're asking him if he wants to accept this penalty or keep it third down. As it looks like Shawnee's going to back up a little bit. Looks like it's going to be on them. And it is indeed going to be on them. Not sure what the call is, though. 4:32 left in this first quarter. It's going to be about second and forever. Yep, chop block, decline, personal foul, intentional grounding. So, yep, that pass was intended for nobody, and they're going to get penalized for it. They're going to lose 15 yards and the down. So, third and about, we're going to call it 23. They got to get to John Marshall 7. And if you're Shawnee, excuse me, they're going to have to get longer than that. They're going to have to get about 28 yards, excuse me.
I
So
mean,
third and 28.
any situation like that, especially being on your opponent's side of the field, you're going to take a shot to the end zone. You're going to take a shot to score. So we might see a little pass action here. They like to run a lot of formations, so don't get used to anything you see by the Shawnee Wolves.
And just penalties after penalties, we've seen how they've hurt teams. As we see the young freshman Zyron Campbell in the shotgun, through receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got his running back to the right of him as well. That's Davis, and there's going to be a flag. I believe it's going to be false start, as a lot of John Marshall defenders are clapping and applauding the efforts by Shawnee.
And this is what they need. Is John Marshall is getting penalized, Shawnee is getting penalized just as much, and it's just falling in the Bears' favor defensively.
Yeah, and that's just going to make it way worse. As it's going to be about third and 33 for Shawnee, as they're going to have to get to the 7-yard line of John Marshall. And we'll see what kind of rush that John Marshall has here. Some type of blitz, maybe. It's going to be a handoff to Davis, or excuse me, a direct snap to Davis, and he takes that to the left for no avail. Loses about 4 yards on that play. So pretty much Shawnee gets, they're going to give the ball back, or punt the ball, excuse me, where they started almost pretty much. Just 5 yards or 6 yards away from where they started.
Right, and I mean, these plays can be explosive with teams that have had explosive plays and explosive plays made on them. But you see John Marshall doing a great job on defense there on the blitz. Great job coming up there. Number 6, Terrence Caldwell, making that tackle.
Yep, and you know, this is a prime example of how penalties can kill your drive. We saw that for Shawnee. They had opportunities to score. That punt's going to hit about the John Marshall 25 and going to settle at about the John Marshall 13 or 14. So, you know, we'll recap a couple of drives to start off. You know, Shawnee, they've had the ball twice. They've had the ball average. Their average field position is about the 40-yard line. You know, and they had a 3-and-out to start the game, and then penalties this last drive that just killed it for them.
Right, just killed it for him. But we saw some flashes from running back Landon Davis. He's a big body, 6'1", 178, showing the speed. He's showing the acceleration, and he's showing the power on those runs. So look for the Bears and their playmakers to make some plays on this drive.
Speaking of playmakers, Bears going to keep it with Middleton at quarterback. He's going to take the direct snap, run it up the middle, and a physical run, physical beating he takes on that play for about 2 yards. Second and 8.
As we see, John Marshall is liking this formation. They're liking the Wildcat. They like bringing Mikael Jackson in that orbit motion. That time we just see a run up the gut, getting some positive yardage. I want to see them mix it up a little bit.
And Middleton going to stay at quarterback. We saw him play quarterback against Heritage Hall. They didn't put up any points that game, but I believe it was a short week for him to get to know that position. We believe he's had a little bit more time, as he's going to be in the empty set, 2 receivers to the left and right. They're going to send number 17 on a motion. It's going to be a fake to the 17. Middleton's going to keep it, and he's going to go nowhere. Maybe not nowhere. That's not the greatest assessment of that run. He gets about 2 yards.
And that Shawnee linebacking unit does a great job. Number 10 making that initial contact, Ryan High, and he's met by another couple Wolves to help seal the deal on that tackle.
We've got a John Marshall bear down. Not sure which number that is, but it looks like a lineman. He's going to be down and getting checked out by Ed Cabrick, the trainer. So we're going to take a break real quick. 2:43 left in the first quarter. Third and about 5 when we get back. And we are back. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony Metro Tech and Chuck Davis State Farm. 3rd and 5 here for John Marshall. Middleton in at quarterback. Empty set for him. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. 2:30 and ticking in this first quarter. So we'll see what John Marshall has in store for us. They're going to send another motion, Mikael Jackson on it, but it's going to be another fake for Middleton. Middleton's going to take it up the middle, and he's going to get the first down and get tackled by a host of Shawnee Wolves at about the John Marshall 27, 28-yard line. What a good play there for Middleton.
Great awareness, great read by Middleton, reading that left side A-gap, getting open, and he hits it immediately. No hesitation as he gets the first down for the Bears. And as we saw, number 71 for the Bears was subbing in kind of late. Traquan Johnson, he's the center, man. Can't be tardy to the party. You starting it off.
Oh, no doubt. But he also was filling in for an injured player, so kind of makes sense. Number 70, Elijah Kirby. He looks like he's ready to go back into the game. Middleton in the empty set shotgun formation. H-back to the right, 2 receivers to the left and right. Middleton going to send Mikael Jackson on a motion. Handoff to Mikael Jackson. He's going to take this to the outside, 30, 35, 40, 45, run over a guy, 50. He might have got to the he might have got to the Shawnee 49. We'll see where he marks it, the official, that is. They're going to say he got to midfield. So what a run by Mikael Jackson, one of our big playmakers, Action Jackson.
Quite a bit going on that play. Dorian Middleton, he one-handed the snap and immediately handed off to Mikael Jackson, who finds green grass, running up along the numbers, getting a sizable gain for another first down for the Bears.
Back-to-back first down runs for John Marshall, and that's something that you can definitely string together as 1:13 and ticking in this first quarter. Midfield, that's where John Marshall has the ball. Middleton in at quarterback, so that's led to a lot of runs. And, you know, maybe this is the kind of offense that they need to succeed this season. As we see a timeout for John Marshall, 1:02 left in the first quarter. Like I said, maybe this is the kind of offense that they need to succeed, and to win games. Maybe throwing it just is not the thing that they need to do.
Right. It's taken a few games for them to get their formula down packed, but they've been successful in this Wildcat now recently. They're building some momentum, too, back-to-back first downs. You want to see them continue what they're doing, getting the ball to their speedsters. And as far as Shawnee, they just have to stay whole, play their runs, as we're going to see a lot of runs from the John Marshall Bears.
And as we said, there was a timeout taken by John Marshall that's going to be brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. This timeout is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. So shout out to them. Go get your sports apparel, sports gear there. Used to get cleats there sometimes if, we had a little bit of bread.
Man, we should just go in Dick's Sporting Goods just in general. Sometimes
Yeah,
just,
no
just
doubt.
look at all the equipment they used to have.
I do like the little putting range.
I always like looking at the football helmets because your school, of course, they're going to have nice helmets, and they're going to have helmets they've had for some years.
But they could have like some Zenith, some weird-looking spaceship helmets.
Top of the line. I mean, they have the newest Riddells every time they come in.
Some Ezekiel Elliott spaceship helmets. I'm telling you, I want one of those. I'd
Oh.
call a game in one of those.
It looks like a spaceship. But you want to call a game in that, man?
No doubt. As Middleton in the shotgun, he's going to take this snap, fire it out to – no, he's going to fake the throw, and he's going to scramble out to his left. No, they're going to call him down. Okay, that was a lot of confusion on that play. They're going to say that he was down?
As I'm confused myself. Or did we get the play off?
Or were the – yeah, so they're going to say that he was down. And it's going to be 2nd and 12 with 40 seconds and ticking in this first quarter. So John Marshall at their own 48, they lose 2 yards. A very weird play, very whimsically play.
Very weird play, but Dorian Middleton's just trying to get out of dodge, and it seems like his knee was just a little too close to that turf.
And Middleton in the shotgun going to fire it out to his left to Action Jackson. That one's just a bit high. 3rd and 12 with 21 ticks on that clock in the first quarter.
So we need to slow it down a little bit. John Marshall has been doing a great job along the course of this game playing at their pace, so you don't want the Shawnee Wolves to put any pressure on you to speed you up. That's a quick out, but the pass is just a little too high for his receiver.
And we'll see Middleton, he's got to see him calm down a little bit. We've seen him overthrow his intended receiver on two of those screen plays so far today. So we'll see if he can take a chill pill real quick as Middleton's going to be in the shotgun, running back to his left, 2 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Middleton play action, and he pump fakes to his right. It's going to scramble out to his right. He's going to sidearm that and almost going to fire that one in there. Looks a little bit like Lamar Jackson. A little bit like Patrick Mahomes right there.
I mean, definitely Lamar Jackson from the pump fakes in the pocket to getting out of the pocket and that sidearm seems like a good job improvising, and it hit the hands of the receiver, but the receiver's not really ready for an underhanded pass like that. So we just want to continue to build on that. Great job by the quarterback.
And that was intended for number 2. We do not have his name. We've never had his name. Someone that's just it's hard to get him on the roster, no doubt. Very elusive guy. They call him the Enigma,
He is, and he's a playmaker. He's made big plays in every game that we've called for the Bears.
but ain't got no name. 10 ticks left on this first quarter. The long snap gets there fine. Punt's good. It's going to get fielded by number 4 of Shawnee. That's going to be Wicks. And he's going to get it to about the 34-35 of Shawnee. Jalen Wicks on the return, the senior. So that's going to be it for the first quarter. John Marshall and Shawnee 0-0, just like their wins on the season, 0. And they're both fighting to fix that as we're heading to the second quarter. We'll see you in a little bit. And we are back. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Metro Tech, and Chuck Davis State Farm. And we're here for the second quarter of action. Shawnee's going to have this one at their own 34-yard line, their third drive of the game. They're going to start this one in the shotgun through receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Motion number 5 on a orbit screen, and he's going to drop that one. He had a little bit of green grass. Number 6, Zyron Campbell on the pass, young freshman.
Great job by the Shawnee offense. They all space the field. They all do their jobs, creating blocks and just creating opportunities for the playmakers. We just got to get it going.
And, Zyron Campbell was looking for Landon Davis on that pass. Seems like that's how they're going to have to get success, get the ball in the hands of Davis. As Campbell in the shotgun again, Davis to his left, 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got an H-back to the left. And it's going to be a handoff from Zyron to Davis, and it's going to be a pre-snap penalty. It's going to be a false start on the offense. Shawnee's going to move back for 2nd and 15. It's going to be 2nd and 15 from their own 29-yard line.
And this offensive line is pretty sprinkled as far as experience goes. There's quite a bit of freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior involvement. So you want to see these guys build some what's the word I'm looking for? Build some camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say camaraderie.
And just blend together because, I mean, they're going to have to be the building block for them to win this game. They have to stand firm.
All starts up front. All starts up front.
It all starts up front, especially if they pride themselves on the run game. They're going to have to clean up those.
And in the shotgun, Zyron, the quarterback for Shawnee, is 3 receivers to the right, to the left, single receiver to the right. Zyron's looking, moving in the pocket, make a guy miss, and he's going to get swallowed up by number 71 and some friends, Traquan Johnson, the junior D lineman. He had the sack. There is a flag on the play, but it was him that led the charge on that play. Good pass rush.
Hopefully not an unsportsmanlike conduct, but a great pass rush by the John Marshall Bears, continuing to be stout as we get senior Creighton Sandersfield checking into the game for number 71, Traquan Johnson.
So Traquan Johnson gets a sack, and he gets told to chill, get you some water.
He's earned his breather.
Yep, and that flag was on Shawnee. I believe it was holding. They're going to decline that. So about third and, we'll call it third and 18, third and 20 or so. Shawnee, they're in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left and right. Running back to the quarterback's right. Zyron waiting for the snap. He gets the snap. He's looking, scrambling to his right. And he's going to make a guy miss, and he's going to get hit by two John Marshall Bears, Shaz Golford, and I believe number 56. Yep, number 56, Alante Binford. Number 58, Creighton Sandersfield. All those guys were in on that play. Huge play right there. So it's going to be fourth and about 15, fourth 20 or so. Can't get the exact measurements, but all we know is they're punting.
Yes, sir. As they do a great job making that stop on third and long. Quarterback seems like he has great mechanics, but he's getting out the pocket, gets tackled, and they were looking for a flag.
So this is going to be the second Shawnee drive that ends in a 3-and-out. Barely gets that punt away. Oh, it's going to be muffed by number 17 of John Marshall, but he's going to pick that one up, and he's going to get tackled at John Marshall's own 36. That was muffed by number 17, Kylan Drennan, the senior.
Tackled by number 10, Ryan High, and he's staying alive, making tackles all over the field for the Shawnee Wolves.
9:26 left in the second quarter. John Marshall going to get their third drive of the game. They're going to start this one off at their own 36-yard line. What are you looking here for? What do you think John Marshall needs to stick with what they've been doing, the run game with Middleton?
Yeah, we've seen Shaz Golford about to check into the game, but he was told not to, as we have Kylan Drennan in the slot, Dorian Middleton, still at Wildcats. So we're going to continue some variations with this.
Mikael Jackson comes in on the motion, and it's going to be a fake handoff to him. Middleton's going to take that, scramble out to the right. He's going to get to the John Marshall 40-yard line before he's tripped up. So he gains about 4 yards on that one. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. So good start to the third drive for John Marshall. Their first drive of the first quarter, second quarter, first drive of the second quarter. Middleton, he's been the focal point tonight. Somebody that they've been needing to get the ball to more, and they decide, hey, we'll just put him at quarterback.
Yep, they've been trusting in the Wildcats, so they trust in it again as we see him line up again, getting the snap.
In the shotgun here, two receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. It's going to be a handoff, and he's going to, get smacked. I believe that was by number 5, Landon Davis. He met him in the hole and let him know his name.
And we talked about Landon, his impact on both sides of the ball. He's more impactful on defense than offense, at least judging from last year's numbers. Again, over 100 tackles, 14 sacks. So he's a monster. He's flying to the football as he's met, and he lays a lick on him, and he lets him know he's going to be there all night.
3rd and 4 for John Marshall here at their own 43-yard line. 8 minutes to go in this second quarter. Two receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. And Middleton's going to have a problem with the snap. He's going to scramble out to his left. He's going to juke Davis, but get sacked by number 88. That's going to be Laren Thomas of Shawnee. What a sack by him, and it's going to force 4th and about 7 or so. Carry for Shaz Golford tonight, and he's been somebody that has been very productive in their games.
As well as Terrence Caldwell. He's played a lot of positions. He's played some running back. He's played multiple positions on defense, and he's played one game at quarterback we've seen.
And we'll see here as Shawnee in the shotgun, going to be the freshman, Zyron Campbell. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. They barely get the snap off. It's going to be a handoff to their running back. He's going to break one tackle and just get throttled by number 17, Kylan Drennan.
And they run a bunch formation, Shawnee, their receivers to the field side. This is the first time, I believe, we're seeing that. They go for the run, just a great stop. Great job by the line. Great job coming up 17 to make that tackle, Kylan Drennan.
Yeah, Kylan Drennan, he muffed the punt earlier, but he's made some pretty key tackles there at safety throughout the season and in this game tonight. As Shawnee's going to stay in the shotgun. That's what they base out of. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left for Zyron Campbell. He gets the snap, looks to his right. He's going to fire it to number 4, and he's going to drop that one. That one was intended for Jalon Wicks, the senior receiver.
And Jalon Wicks, he gets open as they set up the screen, but he sees his route to the end zone before he sees the ball into his hands. You want to see that ball into your hands first.
You got to look in everything that you get to your hands. You got to look it all the way in. You can't look up the field.
And it's hard. I mean, when you get that ball and there's a lot of traffic right in front of you, you're going to be running into traffic and getting that screen play to you means you're one of the faster guys on this team. So once you get that ball, it's time to hit the gas.
As we see Shawnee here in the shotgun, staying in this trips bunch look to the right, single receiver to the left. Zyron, the quarterback here, he looks to his right, and he's going to look to the single receiver side of the left, fires it deep, and it's a one-on-one route, and they're going to say pass interference. They're going to say pass interference. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but it's going to be pass interference on number 13, Mikael Jackson. He does not like that call.
And neither do I. I'm sure Coach Burris doesn't like it as well, as he has his hands on his hips looking around in frustration. Looks like he had great coverage. Quarterback, he looks to the right, looks to the left. He likes what he sees, He lets it go. Defender makes what I think a great play on the ball as we get a verdict from the referees.
Yeah, I believe it was a little bit underthrown, and it was going to be hard for that receiver to make the play. But, you know, the ref's word is the ref's word. Shawnee's going to get this one at their own 42-yard line, 6:08 left to go. They're going to try to capitalize on this free yardage as Zyron, quarterback, three receivers to his right, single receiver to the left. And he's going to fire it to number 4, and he's going to drop it again. Senior receiver Jalen Wicks has had a problem catching the football tonight.
As they run that screen again, trying to get him another opportunity, he does a great job running to the ball and catching the ball, but doesn't maintain possession of the ball as he wants to accelerate upfield. So you want to see him focus in a little more and maybe hit a few more of these playmakers for the Wolves, mix it up.
He might be a little bit in his own head right now. The senior receiver. You know, hey, got to talk to him a little bit, coaches. 6:08 left in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Shawnee offense. They're trying to get some life injected into this offense.
They are, but you would think we would see more of Landon Davis maybe in the pass game a little bit. He's a dynamic athlete already. I'm sure he could be productive in the passing game.
And 2nd and 10 here. Handoff to number 24. Shawnee's going to take it up the middle. 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. That's going to be Shaw, the sophomore. Shawnee, they draw first blood. What a play.
What a play. It starts with the offensive line, holding on their blocks, creating that big hole, and he just hits it. I mean, he wants to make a cut outside, but he makes a quick cut left on the back of his left tackle, and he's nothing but green grass, and he's got John Marshall chasing him all the way to the end zone.
Shaw on the play, the sophomore. He really wanted to take that outside, but he put his foot in the ground and just went up the middle of the field, and he banged his head off of the upright as Shawnee looking to make this 7-0. Just a crazy play by Shaw. Just shows his athleticism, the young sophomore. Bad snap, and that's going to result in the score staying 6-0. That could be very big in a game like this, a slobber knocker. Looks like a 70s NFL game, like a Dolphins-Raiders game in 74.
Somewhat, and as you see, these free yardage plays have become a great asset for both of these teams. So, again, like we talked about in pregame, the winner of this game is whoever's going to play the cleanest football. So you want to see these penalties become more minor and minor as the game continues. And just what a great run by – who do we have on that run?
Shaw.
Shaw. It was a great job planting that foot outside, cutting inside. Great vision by the youngsters. The sophomore, correct?
Yes, the sophomore. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, the KYZ life-changing bar scoring recap. So on that drive, we had what was going to be a 3-and-out, then a penalty extender with the penalty on Mikael Jackson, questionable call, and then right after that, 2 plays later, Shaw, 40-plus yard touchdown run, and that's really going to steal some momentum.
Right, that pass interference sets up those 2 plays from the score, so again, you want to see them clean it up. I didn't see it get too handsy. Again, that ball was kind of far out for the receiver, so it was going to be hard for him to catch anyway. And I thought Mikael just made a great play on the ball. And
senior Dorian Middleton, the captain, he was trying to hawk down Shaw. He was very close. If that penalty doesn't happen, let's say that play happens at the 20-yard line, he's getting caught, no doubt in my mind. Middleton was trying to hawk him down, kind of like Buda Baker, DK Metcalf last year.
Oh, yeah, and you talk about, man, he's seeing food. That's like Wile E. Coyote running. Tom and Jerry almost, if you will.
Oh, I agree. Shawnee kicks this one. They get this underway, and it's going to be returned from about the 20. Nope, they're going to call a fair catch. Mikael Jackson really frustrated with the refs right now.
I mean, Mikael Jackson 0 referees, too, as they get another one on him. I didn't see a fair catch at all, but
they say he called it. So 5:54 left in this second quarter. John Marshall looking to steal some of that momentum that was just ripped away from them.
And they have to steal it. They're the home team. Shawnee strikes first.
It's
They're on the
homecoming.
board again, and it's homecoming. I mean, if you don't have anything to play for those people that are coming back to see you, see how well you've progressed thus far, and see what y'all have to offer in the future.
No doubt about it. We kind of got into it a little bit there in the KYZ life-changing bar. Shaw, that play really just it could be the key to this game. We'll see if they can play a little bit better with Dorian Middleton here at quarterback. He's in the shotgun. A late player runs onto the field. It's going to be number 17, Kylan Drennan. You got to know that you're out there, man. And Middleton lines him up. He's got two receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, H-back to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Drennan. So you come in late, we hand you the ball, and you don't gain any yards. 5:45 left in this second quarter.
I mean, but number 27, Jason Hare, linebacker for the Shawnee Wolves, almost pounced on him, if you will. Great job by the Wolves as he had some surrounding teammates coming in to make that a short run.
And we'll see what Middleton and this offense has in store for the Shawnee Wolf defense. 5:28 and ticking in this second quarter. Looking at the sideline, looking at the motions and the different things that the offensive coordinator for John Marshall, Sean Love, is doing. Middleton, he's going to be in the empty set, two receivers to the left and right, H-back to the left of the formation. He's going to motion one of his receivers, and there's going to be some type of pre-snap penalty. Not sure if it's a false start, offsides, and they're going to say false start. Unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. I hate to wear you listeners out, but clean, efficient football is what we need from any of these teams to be winners tonight. I don't want to be discouraging to this offense, but we've had a lot of offensive line struggles over the course of this season, and we've had some substitutions as far as guards and tackles and even our center.
It's the little things. You know, all my coaches have talked about the little things. You do the little things right, they stack up the big things. We'll see what big things the offense can do here in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Middleton looking to his left. He's going to fire it deep, and no one is around there that in a blue jersey. Had three different white jerseys of Shawnee around that one. So, and very inaccurate pass there, but that's kind of the sacrifice, the trade you make going from Middleton to from Taylor to Middleton.
It is, and Dorian Middleton, he's on go. He's been tucking it and running it a lot. We've seen a lot of pump fakes, even one that he fumbled. So he's really on go. He's kind of antsy to be making these big throws. We haven't seen a lot of involvement from Davian Taylor over the course of this whole game. So hopefully we get to see him in that quarterback, a more experienced thrower.
We hope he's all right. We don't know if he's injured or anything, got any nicks and bruises. And a little bit of a high snap there from Middleton. He's going to scramble out to his left, and he's going to fire this one sidearmed. Almost intercepted, but almost caught by Mikael Jackson. And Mikael Jackson, we've called his name a lot. He's been around the ball a lot. Almost coming up with a crazy acrobatic play right there.
Yeah, it was the almost outstanding catch as you saw the player. He's chest out, arms and legs back trying to make that catch.
So we see here John Marshall setting up for another punt, their fourth drive of the game. Back-to-back 3 and outs for John Marshall. That's just not going to get it done for you.
No, it's not going to get it done, and it makes me even more curious where Davian Taylor might be tonight.
I do not see him on the sideline. I haven't seen him on the sideline, so we're not sure if he's got some injuries or what's going on. But this punt's going to travel to about the Shawnee 44-yard line, 43-yard line. Takes a couple bounces and gets there. 4:30 left in the second quarter. Shawnee's going to have great field position to start this next drive, and maybe they try to, eat a lot of this clock with 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
I feel like it's a good job on the punt by senior Creighton Sandersfield, getting the ball across the 50 to get it in their territory to start the drive. The defense has played very well in their run fits. Shawnee hasn't passed the ball very well. Or not very much, excuse me. So the defense has held up except the one pass interference. So you want to see them remain calm, remain stout, and hopefully keep them on this side of the 50 and get the ball back before the half is over.
Zyron Campbell, the quarterback, in the shotgun, 3 receivers in the bunch formation to the right. It's going to be a handoff to Davis. Davis is going to take that one for about, he's driving still. That O-line is pushing him forward for about a few extra additional yards.
They were pushing him, but those wheels were still churning, and it seems like number 6, Terrence Caldwell, was almost waiting for him as soon as he got free, and that started the moving pile.
It's going to be about 2nd and 6, 4 minutes left to go in this second quarter. Shawnee trying to put a drive together here. Zyron Campbell at quarterback, the young freshman. This is something that Shawnee can really really look forward to as the next couple years of development for this guy. He's only a freshman.
Right, we've seen a lot of promise. It seems like he has great mechanics, good footwork, good vision getting out of the pocket. Seems like he has some arm strength as well, as we've seen some zip on a couple of those balls.
In the shotgun, two receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Davis. Davis to the right of this formation. He cuts it up the field. He's going to get into John Marshall territory. Gets to the 49 of the Bears. 3:30 left. 3rd and 2 for this Shawnee Wolves offense. And we've talked a lot about Landon Davis. He has been a key cog to the offense, and he's kind of that thunder, that thunder, and then you've got the lightning of Day Shaw so far this game.
But he did a great job. I mean, he got the ball and he remained patient, waited to find that sliver of space, shot straight through it to get about a 5 or 6 yard gain. That's solid by the running back, senior.
3 minutes left to go in this second quarter. Shawnee really eating the clock, chewing the clock right here. 5 seconds left to go in the play clock.
And I don't know if they intend to do so, but they're doing a great job. And as well as expanding on those free yardage plays, you have to play at a good pace and good field position.
Timeout Shawnee as they let the clock go down a little bit too much. 2:52 left. It's going to be another timeout sponsorship brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's Sporting Goods are timeout sponsor, so shout out to them.
Shout out to them as we hear the band playing a little bit for these John Marshall Bears on this night of homecoming.
We've seen a lot tonight. We've seen Deshaw, 40-plus. I'm not sure the exact number. I know it was 40-plus yards for a touchdown. We've seen some big runs by Middleton. Saw him for about 25-yard scamper on the right side of the field, right hash in the first quarter. Well, we've seen just Middleton's been the guy, really, for this John Marshall offense so far.
He's definitely been the guy. Mikael Jackson has been given a few opportunities. Kylan Drennan as well. So look to see those guys stay involved in the game. But I feel like the determining factor, if I had to pick one, is the offensive line units. Shawnee has done a great job in their run schemes and allowing Deshaw to get that big gain. They've played pretty clean, maybe one false start compared to John Marshall's few. So like to see them keep that up if they want to win tonight.
And Shawnee, as we said, 3rd and 2 for them. 2:52 left to go. Zyron Campbell in the backfield.
As we get some early movement, we got a step by number 56 of the Bears.
Oh no, I think it's gonna be a false start. No,
as I hope.
No, you're right. You were right. I was a little bit too hopeful. You're exactly right. They're gonna call offsides. So you're exactly right, and they get the free 5 yards, easiest 5 yards in sports.
I mean, as you see them getting John Marshall's defensive line to jump, that's a great job. Again, give credit where it's due to the offensive line.
And shout out to Zyron Campbell, as we've said, the freshman, having the voice to get them to jump off sides.
Yeah, great aspect of the game. You have to be able to control the offense. You have to be able to get their attention. So it's a great job commanding lead as the quarterback for these Wolves as they get this possession first down.
Campbell back at quarterback in the shotgun, through receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got Davis to the right at running back. Fires it out to the left to his number 3 receiver, Wicks. Wicks makes a couple guys miss on the screen. He gains about 12 to 13 yards. It's going to be a first down for Shawnee at the John Marshall 30-yard line. And, that was Ren Carter on the catch and run.
And great execution top to bottom from the offense. I like the play call. He does a great job, Ren Carter, being elusive and getting the first down for those Wolves as they look to score before the half is over.
That's going to be huge. If they can get a field goal, maybe even, that could be huge. 2 possessions, that could make a big difference in a game like this. Slobber knocker. Shawnee looking to, give the ball to Davis here maybe for some slobber knocking yards. 1st and 10 for Shawnee. It's going to be a handoff to Davis. Davis takes it to the right side. He's going to get to the – wow, he's going to get a first down. First down, about a 12-yard run for Davis right there, just a very demoralizing run. It's going to set up an OKC Dodger Baseball Foundation and Impressions Printing red zone opportunity for Shawnee.
And the second focal point for any of these teams to win is open field tackling. Both of these teams have been able to create good positions for themselves in situations playing their other opponents this year, but they failed in making a lot of open field tackles that create negative plays, and those end up turning into the big gains in the first downs.
Campbell in the shotgun. Davis to the left of him in the shotgun at running back. 2 receivers to the left and the right. He gets the snap. Campbell looking to his right. Scrambles to his right, directing traffic down the field. He gets rid of it, throws it to the back of the end zone, and that one's going to fall where no one can get that one. He had some pressure behind him from some John Marshall Bears. Believe number 56, Alante Binford, and the boys were running after him.
Great job applying pressure. The sophomore quarterback is talking to the referee, trying to get some sort of penalty or call, but as I saw, all of his receivers were covered up pretty well downfield.
1:30 left to go in the second quarter. Shawnee driving for an OKC Dodger Baseball Foundation and Impressions Printing Red Zone opportunity. Shawnee has the ball at John Marshall's, we'll call it 18. Campbell in the shotgun, two receivers to the left and right. Number 1, the motion man. He's going to get the motion. He's going to cut it up in the middle of the field. 15, breaks a tackle. 10, tackled at about the 8-yard line. We're going to call that a first down. And, wow, goal line opportunity there. Big run there for number 1, Elijah Thomas, the sophomore. A lot of sophomores on this Shawnee team, and they're going to call a timeout. Or, excuse me, John Marshall. Nope, the ref had me messed up. Shawnee's going to call the timeout. 1:19 left to go in the second quarter. Really big drive here as Shawnee's trying to run this ball down the throat of John Marshall and score.
Yep, that's a very big play. Now they get deeper into their side of the field. The defense picks up on the motion, and they try to shift, but they just fail to get to sideline fast enough.
Good job.
Another first down opportunity.
It was a good job by Zyron Campbell on the sweep to Elijah Thomas, and Elijah Thomas did the rest. Broke a tackle, and just for the small frame, pretty big package as he definitely you got to bring more than just yourself. You got to bring your soul when you tackle him, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, you got to bring your hard hat and your lunch pail, man. When you're coming to play him, you need to get low, wrap up, and run through your contact, man. That's how I was taught to tackle.
Exactly. You know, I know we got taught a little bit how to do rugby tackles and hawk tackling like the Seahawks do, Pete Carroll does. So different modified tackling, but one and the same. Keep your head up and run your feet on contact. That's all you got to do.
Right, but the emergence of rugby fundamentals in the sport of football has been very beneficial. It keeps
tackling with your shoulder, man.
It keeps
your head out of
defenders
it.
and offenders safe, both sides, and that's what we want to achieve when we're playing this sport that we love so much.
No doubt. 1:19 left to go. Shawnee working against the clock here. They try to get a late touchdown in the second quarter. Campbell is not the back. It's going to be Davis in the Wildcat quarterback position, and he's going to take that direct snap, get it to about the John Marshall 2-yard line. So, hey, we see John Marshall. They've been running out of the Wildcat, and Shawnee says, you know what, we can do that too. They put Davis back there. He gains about 5 yards on that play.
They said, anything you can do, I can do better. We're going to use our biggest weapon, number 5, Landon Davis, to get that Wildcat direct snap. He does a great job being physical again in the trenches where it matters in your red zone.
And looks like they're going to keep the same look. Davis at quarterback, the best player that they have, arguably. And it's going to be a false start.
We get an anxious Dorian Middleton coming off the edge.
Was it a false start or is it going to be offsides? I'm not sure how they're going to mark this. They're going to say it was offsides on Dorian Middleton. I thought it was going to be false start on number 85, Aiden Ringwald, the freshman for Shawnee, but they're going to call it on Dorian Middleton, the senior captain. So, yeah, it's going to make it even easier. 2nd and 1 for Shawnee, or 2nd and goal, with 1 yard to go. 30 ticks on the clock and counting.
I mean, for a freshman, this is a big moment, a big situation, down in distance to be in the game and possibly making a play for your team as he's in the slot.
It's going to be Davis and Dayshaw in the backfield.
Get some early movement.
And it looks like the freshman is going to be called for a false start. That's going to be Aiden Ringwald, the freshman for Shawnee.
A few of those freshman jitters, man. He's going to look back and listen to this and say, I jinxed him. I didn't try to.
And the coaches are saying, somebody come get him. He's, a little Ray Shamerd, as we see number 1, Elijah Thomas check in for 85, Aiden Ringwald. So Davis in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left in the Wildcat. He's going to take this, to be patient with it like Le'Veon Bell, and he runs up the middle. I believe he was downed at the 1.
I believe he is down at the 1 as well,
so
as we get a signal from the refs.
About 2 seconds left to go. Shawnee calls a timeout. So we'll see what they decide to do. Big decision. Do they go for the 6 or do they go for the 3?
And like you said earlier, they've used a lot of this clock, Shawnee, so that's going to be a great asset to them. Another
timeout brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. It was a timeout by Shawnee. They've got 4 seconds to work with, 2 seconds to work with. So if you were the coach, what are you doing?
Well, I'm more of a John Harbaugh type. I'm going to be very aggressive, even though he didn't show his aggressiveness last week. But I'm going to be aggressive. My running back, my senior, he's been carrying this workload. I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to let him run it in. I mean, why not? I feel like almost everybody, if not everybody, has faith that he can get in the end zone, at least for the Wolves' perspective.
And this is a scenario where, I played D line for UCO and at Union, and we had, like I said, we had great coaching, but we had some pretty good coaches, and we would do a root hog technique here where the D line would just shoot out and try to cut the knees of the O line, just try to muddy the waters up, try to just make it ugly. So we'll see what they have technique wise for this D line and this. You practice for scenarios like this, so
Hey, the lowest man wins in football,
lowest
DB,
man
every
does
time.
win every time. That's why I love football, man. Got to be gritty. As Landon Davis in the backfield. He's going to be lined up at quarterback with Day Shaw to his right. And we're waiting on the snap. Davis gets it, goes to his left, and he's going to fall into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow. Shawnee gets a big touchdown. It's going to be 12-0 at the half. We'll see what happens with the extra point here. And, hey,
I mean, very minor adjustment. Seems like the same play. It just seems like the coach or either himself made the decision to step to the left a little bit, maybe hit that B or C gap as he sees more green grass as he falls into the end zone.
kind of a little bit delayed. He takes a little bit of a step, see what gap opens up, and he fires into the middle of the field, or excuse me, into the middle of that gap, and he scores. This extra point is up, and it's good, so they don't mess it up like last time. That's going to be the end of the half, as it's going to be 13-0. Oh, nope, there's going to be a flag on the play, excuse me. False start on Shawnee, so they're going to have to redo this extra point, and that could prove very costly. As Shawnee, this is something that they've messed up earlier in the game. They'll have to do it from a farther back, and they'll have to just repeat the whole process.
I mean, this is a process you don't want to repeat. This is one of the simplest facets of the game is your extra point, especially being so conventional as we line up.
And we'll see. This snap is a little bit behind them. The kick is up, and it splits the upright, so no problem. 13-0. Shawnee's going to take this one into the half. As I said, 13-0. As we'll get into some of your halftime sponsors for the game today.
First, we got Langston University. If you've ever considered becoming a nurse or a physical therapist, you should enroll today at Langston University. LU is one of the leading state universities in producing nurses and physical therapists. Learn more by going online at langston.edu.
And for your second halftime sponsor, Concino de Mino. For the best in Mexican cuisine, the only place to have lunch or dinner is Concino de Mino, located at 6022 Southwestern Avenue, open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. That's Concino de Mino. And we will be back with y'all in a few minutes for the rest, we'll be back in a few minutes to get you guys ready to go for the second half. So get your popcorn, get your water, get your refreshments. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Hello, welcome back. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Metro Tech, and Chuck Davis State Farm. Jamin had a very interesting first half. We didn't really get to talk to the coaches for John Marshall, but we got to see the feel, kind of what they look like. They look determined. They look ready to go for the second half.
Absolutely, as they're getting prepared to go back out here and get the ball back, they want to score first as they get to receive the ball at halftime.
The benefits of deferring to the second half, you get the ball, and they need to do something with it.
Yeah, although they do get the ball, we don't know what they're going to do with it. We haven't seen Davian Taylor. He's been MIA all night. So we've been running Dorian Middleton through the Wildcat package, which has been somewhat effective on these drives. We've been penalized quite a bit, which has actually held us out of the end zone. And the big pass interference in the second quarter led to Shawnee getting their first touchdown, and then they just had a great possession and great clock possession throughout that last drive, which led to their second touchdown of the night.
And we've got some scores from around Oklahoma. 6A football scores. Union up 28-14 against Norman, the number 2 ranked team in 6A. Mustang up on Edmond Santa Fe. Mustang 4-1, up 13-0 against the 0-5 Santa Fe Wolves. They're the Wolves, right?
Yes, they are the Wolves.
Yeah, I never played them in high school. So those are the only 2 Thursday games that we have on tap for 6A1. 6A2 ball. There is Putnam City up 50-0 on Capitol Hill at the half. Battle of 2 1-4 teams. In 5A, we've got Carl Albert up 28-12 on Southeast. We hope the best for Southeast. Me and Jamin, we called a couple of their games to start the year off, so much love. Coweta up 21-0 on McAllister. Midwest City up 14-0 on El Reno. Shawnee, our game, Shawnee up 13-0 at John Marshall, so that's it for 5A, as Shawnee is 5A. We get into our 4A football scores. Broken Bow up 28-0 at Sallisaw. And John Marshall there in 4A. We talked about them being down 13-0. Stillwell up 24-12 on Fort Gibson. And I guess we'll do some 3A action. Oh, there is no 3A action. So.
What do we got for tomorrow? Do we got any big games in 5 or 6A tomorrow?
So 5A football tomorrow night, we're going to have Bishop McGinnis versus Guthrie, 2 5-0 teams. So
that's a great game.
That should be something that everyone's looking forward to. Sapulpa and Del City. Del City looking to make it 5-1 on the year. 6A2 ball tomorrow. Stillwater and Sand Springs. It should be a good one. Deer Creek versus Choctaw. That's going to be another good one tomorrow night in 6A2. 6A1 ball. Edmond Memorial takes on Yukon. Should be a good game. Moore takes on Southmore. Should be another good game.
Get a Moore war.
Yeah, and Edmond North takes on the surprising 1-4 Owasso Rams. So we'll see if Owasso can get out of their own way. Bixby, 5-0, number 1 team in the state. They take on Enid. Westmore versus Broken Arrow, and then Norman North and Jinx. So those are all your action, big game action for tomorrow night. But we get more focused on our game. 3 minutes left to go until we start the second half of play, or until I guess we start warm-ups for our teams. Jamin, what are some of your keys for the second half? You know, the bear traps to avoid for John Marshall.
Well, the keys for them, of course, are still first and foremost what we set from pregame is playing clean, efficient football, because the big pass interference set up the Shawnee score. They've had a couple false starts and offsides that have hurt them on their individual drives. So you want to see them clean it up a little bit. As far as formation-wise on offense, we're probably going to continue to see the same thing, but continue to see variations, different passing sets, different route combinations. Defensively, we're doing pretty well. We've had a stop in this game already. We just need to continue to stay tight, play cohesive, play clean. We don't need any more offsides or pass interferences. And sometimes you really can't get out of that. You know, the referees have to do their job, and they have to be effective during the game. So some things are going to happen, but we have to continue to progress and forget those plays and remember the task at hand.
Shawnee is just really dominated in terms of first downs. They've got a lot of first downs. I believe, I don't have the exact number, but they've had 5 drives in the first half, and their last 2 drives ended in touchdowns. Day Shaw with the 40-plus yard touchdown run, and Landon Davis with the 1-yard touchdown run, and all those drives were set up by big first downs, you know, just back to back to back, just getting them together. And those are Big O's Pork and Dreams first downs. And, you know, if you want to win, you got to get a lot of big old pork and dreams first downs.
Right, and they've done a great job building momentum as they're on the road on John Marshall's home field tonight, and that's a great aspect to have as being a road team coming in trying to get a win. So establishing that momentum, continuing to build on that as you have back-to-back scoring drives, and look for the defense to come out and show us something that we haven't seen before, as well as the John Marshall offense.
Look to get young Zyron Campbell rattled a little bit. He's a freshman, probably hasn't played a lot of varsity football, and something that maybe you can dial up blitzes or get some pressure going. We saw him get sacked, I believe, twice in the first half. So it's just something that this D-line and some of these blitzing linebackers are going to have to really, think about that. This is a young cat. We can really, mess with his brain a little bit.
Right, and the linebackers especially. He's a young guy, so he wants to get his passes off. So look to disrupt those passing lanes and just look to get some hands in his face to just bat some balls or just cause some commotion.
And Shawnee getting ready to warm up for the second half. They do their stuff. Head coach Jason Sexton, as I said, he coached a lot of young players from Midwest City and Muskogee. So
I mean, he's been a defensive coordinator for 17 years. He spent
he knows
14
ball.
years at Midwest City, and he spent 3 at Muskogee. So his defensive unit has definitely shown up tonight from top to bottom. His linebacker unit, especially one player that we've seen fly from sideline to sideline, is linebacker number 10, Ryan High. Look for his impact to just keep rising and rising over the course of this.
As we had some young ladies accidentally go up in the elevator. I think they were a little bit embarrassed. They didn't know where they were at. I'm not sure if our listeners heard that, but it was definitely hilarious. Definitely hilarious. John Marshall taking the field now for their warm-ups. Head coach Chris Burris trying to get his Bears ready to go. Shout out to my man Brock Burris, the son of Chris Burris, one of my good friends. Hope he's listening tonight.
And Coach Burris, he's still trying to get his first win as head coach of the John Marshall Bears. He spent a couple years in Ada, and he took advantage of this opportunity to come back closer to home and be at the top of someone's helm. So he's shown great flashes with his players, with his sets. So we want to see him continue to build on what he's done thus far and hopefully get his first win tonight as John Marshall celebrating homecoming.
John Marshall celebrating homecoming. They want to leave this crowd with some good memories, some good feelings. As what more can you want for homecoming? This is a tough homecoming matchup, but at the same time, a very winnable game. Two teams looking for W number one. 125 left until we get this one cracking again.
And I know this is going to sound a little odd when I say this, but this game is going to be very impactful on the rest of their season. You talk about stakes and this being the highest the stakes have been for them. You're already mid-season, and this is a home game. This is homecoming, so this should be a game driven by a little emotion, and you just want to see them come out and bite. You want to see them win.
Shawnee, they're not at full strength tonight. Their D lineman, Asidik Perez, not sure how to say his first name. Let's call him Asidik Perez, and he's out tonight, senior D lineman. So this is something that, this team has got to capitalize on. Maybe they can run the ball up the middle on this defense a little bit more. It seems like they haven't had too much success stressing the edges. So we'll see what transpires here in the second half as Chris Burris gets his Bears ready to go and Jason Sexton gets his Wolves ready to go. And this is a little bit ridiculous, but what's more intimidating, a bear or a wolf to you? Because, there's maybe one bear, but there's like 10 wolves.
Okay, I have these conversations all the time, but it's honestly going to depend on the type of wolf and the type of bear. Now, if you just talk about a very broad aspect, a wolf and a bear. Now, the wolf is usually going to travel in a pack. So if I'm thinking outside of the box, if I'm in the wilderness and you see me with a grizzly bear, you better help the bear.
Yeah, I feel that. I'd probably go more Liam Neeson in The Gray, where, he just fights like 13 wolves at the end of the movie, and it just hard cuts. You don't know if he killed all the wolves or if the wolves killed him. But I'd end up on top because I am King Predator. I am the apex.
That plot seems very fitting for Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson, he could look at a nuclear missile wrong, and the nuke will just implode on itself. But Enough of the ridiculous talk. We're
I
ready.
know who you are, and I will find you.
Enough of the ridiculous talk. We're getting ready for football. We were trying to fill time a little bit if you couldn't tell. Number 11 for Shawnee. It's going to be Toby Gray. Toby Gray is going to kick this one off for the Shawnee Wolves. The second half is about to get underway here. Back to return the kick for John Marshall is going to be number 17, Kylan Drennan, the senior. We've seen him have a muff issue earlier in the game, so hopefully he can get that corrected here if he gets a snap to or kick to him. Excuse me.
I mean, he has to with a kick back deep. With this being the opening drive, they want to get a touchback.
And hey, the kick from Gray, and it's a deep one. It's going to go to Drennan. Oh, it's going to go hop over him, but he's going to get it at the 5, go to the left, going to get to the 15, breaks a tackle at the 20, breaks another tackle, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. That's a touchdown, Drennan. John Marshall Bears are on the board 15 seconds into the game. What a score.
John Marshall is on the board, and what a way to start the first half. We get an electric return by number 17, Kylan Drennan. We spoke about him having some problems catching that, and he muffs it, but he picks it up. He runs. He does a great job splitting 4 or 5 defenders as he cuts up the sideline. He gets past the 40, and it's nothing but green grass. And he high-fives Dorian Middleton, his teammate, as he gets into the end zone.
Wow.
Great job.
You know, and I'm going to be honest, it made me think back to when I was at UCO, Isaiah Major, he now plays at FAMU, HBCU down there in Florida. He high-fived one of our players for a touchdown at the end of it, and he got called for a flag. 2-point conversion here for Middleton, and they score 13-8. So we got a little bit distracted from our story, but Middleton calls his own number, takes it up the middle, 13-8. It's a 5-point ball game. John Marshall's right back in it.
I mean, what a call by Coach Burris, being super aggressive on that extra point. We want to go for 2. Dorian Middleton, your electric playmaker, and he does what he does so well. It gets in the end zone.
And we'll do a scoring recap brought to you by KYZ, the life-changing bar. Kylan Drennan, the snap goes over his head, bounces, he picks it up, and he just takes it from about the 5 of John Marshall, and he dings his head on the upright, excuse me. So what a play by him. And then they go for 2 for Middleton, so it's 13-8.
Right. It was some highs and lows, but, I mean, what a way to immediately respond on the half. I mean, you don't even run a single play from your offensive set. You run and you make a play from special teams. You have to focus on special teams and make that a focal point if you want to win this game because, again, it has to be about who plays the cleanest football. The kicking game is a big aspect in winning the football game.
And that's a big momentum shifter. You get a kick return for a touchdown. That's not something that is taken lightly. That's something that teams do not like. Those are big momentum shifters. Looked a little bit like Devin Hester there, the Windy City Flyer.
Exactly. He got me
I'm
on
amped.
my feet
I'm
out of my
amped.
chair. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm juiced up, DB. That's exactly what we needed. That's exactly what these fans needed on this homecoming night.
Exactly. And if you ain't out here tonight, then you missing out because what a great game of football that both these schools are playing. And just for the love, man, as kicked off by Guilford. It's a surprise onside.
Oh, we get it again.
Wow. Oh, they're going to say he got to it early, or was it offsides? I think Guilford had the distance on it, but it was offsides, and you hate that. You hate that because they had it.
I mean, you hate it, but you love to see it. Again, super, super aggressive call by Coach Burris, and we almost get it.
I believe it's going to be offsides on number 11. Be Dondrick Williams.
Dondrick Williams, the junior wide receiver, in on this kickoff unit. And, yeah, I mean, you don't practice that a lot. You're not in a lot of situations where you can benefit off of an onside kick, but you get a good kick, good distance. We just need those guys behind the line so we don't get that call.
That would have been a crazy momentum shifter, but it doesn't matter. 11:36 left in the third quarter. Guilford going to kick this one. Decent kick to about the 25 of Shawnee. Picked up. Going to be smacked at the 29. That was a about 4-yard return for Dietrich Beavers.
Swallowed by number 1, Dorian Middleton of the John Marshall Bears.
Wow, so Shawnee's got to try to get some positive momentum going. They thought they would be on defense to start, but, hey, offense, you're out here early. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. We'll see what the young quarterback can do. Zyron Campbell.
And John Marshall has to accept the challenge and get some momentum from the offense to the defense. They do a great job on that kickoff, stopping them at the 30, so we want to keep seeing them physical and punch the Wolves in the mouth.
As we see quarterback Campbell in the shotgun. We don't see Davis in the backfield. It's going to be Shaw next to him, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. And Campbell's going to take that to the left. He's going to run it, hit to the 30, 35, and pushed out at about the 39-yard line. So that should be a first down for Shawnee. So one play, 10 yards. Campbell scrambles to the left for a first down.
He scrambles and he shows his speed as we get a whole pack of John Marshall Bears chasing him to the sideline. He's pushed out finally by corner number 13, Mikael Jackson.
So, hey, they're for sure not going to go 3 and out. Their young quarterback makes sure of that as he runs hard to the left side, gets 10 yards. 11:23 left in the third quarter. Zyron Campbell running back into the huddle, giving his guys the call. They break the huddle. Campbell's going to be in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left, running back to the left of Campbell. We don't see number 5, Landon Davis, so far.
Probably just getting a breather as we get that.
Ooh, a pass to Beavers. Beavers going to break a tackle, go to the 45, 50, 45, tackled at about the 40, and he gets into John Marshall territory. What a play by Beavers, man.
What a play by Beavers. We've seen Shawnee switch up their formations quite a bit, but they go with the trips formation, bunch side to the right. They go for it again. He just shows off the speed. What a play.
He gets up a little slow, but leave it to the Beaver, right? He gets about 25 yards on that play.
But those open field tackles, again, detrimental for the Bears. That could be a negative play, but again, it goes for a first down.
Yeah, hey, he breaks the tackle, and he just pinballs off of him and not scrambles, but is going to run himself to about the 40 of John Marshall. Shawnee starting this one at John Marshall's 40. Campbell, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's going to fire it out for another pass to Beavers on a bubble screen. He's going to take that to about the 33 or so of John Marshall. 10:27 and ticking as it's going to be second and about 9.
As we see back-to-back screens have been effective for the Shawnee Wolves.
Or, excuse me, second and 5.
Second and 5. Yep, they're getting the John Marshall defense to kind of be antsy, running sideline to sideline, which has been a problem for them. So that was a great call, getting a quick pickup of 5 yards.
So second and 5 for Shawnee. Campbell, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. See them base out of this trip set a lot. Don't see Landon Davis. And it's going to be another direct snap to the quarterback. He's scrambling to his right. He's going to throw it. And it's going to go off the hands of number 4, Jalen Wicks. But I believe it's going to be a pass interference or some type of penalty on that secondary of John Marshall.
I believe the penalty will be on the secondary the penalty will be on the John Marshall secondary. But the quarterback does a great job getting out of the pocket. He almost scrambles immediately, and the receiver almost catches it. Number 4, Jalen Wicks. That's a great job. Great eyes and great reaction time.
Oh, and it's going to be a holding penalty on Jalen Wicks. Wow, so how the tables turn, we think it's going to be on John Marshall. Nope, it's on Johnny. And Jalen Wicks, the senior receiver, has had a multitude of negative plays for his team tonight. I know he's not feeling great about that.
No, not at all. But we've had a couple players, Mikael Jackson specifically on the John Marshall side. He's been picked on 2 or 3 times by this officiating crew tonight, but hopefully they have a quick memory, forget those plays, and continue to do what they need to do for their team. It goes in John Marshall's favor as they hope to make a stop on this drive.
Got to have a short-term memory if you're going to play football for the most part, as it's going to be Campbell, quarterback. Oh, no, it's not going to be Campbell. I believe that's going to be number 11, low snap, and he's going to take that and be lucky to keep it at a negative 2-yard loss. That was Toby Gray at quarterback, I believe.
Tackled by number 28, Aiden Clayton, linebacker, freshman for the John Marshall Bears.
Toby Gray exits, and it's going to be back to Zyron Campbell at quarterback. So I'm not sure what kind of look they were looking for there, but it's going to set up about 3rd and 17 or so for Shawnee. Ball at their own 47, 9:45 and ticking. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Campbell waiting for the snap. He gets the snap. He's going to roll out to his right, looking right. He's directing traffic some more. He's going to jump pass it, and it's going to be intercepted by number 17. That's going to be the senior, Kylan Drennan. Kylan Drennan makes a big play in the return game, and he comes around and makes a key turnover for this defense and maybe inject some life into John Marshall.
Yeah, that's just a tough throw for the quarterback. Dangerous, actually. Great job by number 17 as he's kind of late getting to his defender, but very timely as he flips his head, and he's just in perfect position to get the interception.
What a play by Kylan Drennan, man. He what a big second half so far.
Yeah, he's turning this performance around. I don't know what they put in his Gatorade or what his mom texted him, but it's working tonight.
Hey, we're not even 6 minutes into this second half, and Kylan Drennan has 2 game-changing plays. Potentially 2 game-changing. He's got 1 for sure. We'll see what they do with this ball here. And then maybe make it a second game-changing play. They're going to be in the shotgun here. It's going to be a handoff to Drennan. Drennan breaks a tackle. He's going to run through a guy, and he's going to get to John Marshall's own about, we'll call it the 23-yard line, 2nd and 8, 9:15 and ticking for this John Marshall Bear offense.
And a great physical run that we hope the energy of that translates through all 11 as they line up for this second down. Great job getting him the ball right after the interception. Getting
He's hot.
A little momentum as he's the hot player right now.
As Denzel Curry or NBA Jam, they'd say he's heating up. As Kylan Drennan wants the ball. He wants the ball. It's going to be it's going to be a fake handoff to Drennan. Middleton keeps it. He's going to get a first down, but there is a flag on the play. This play might be going backwards. So I was saying he was heating up, and they pour some ice water on him.
Hey, but like you said, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's what we have to stop doing. They've done a great job defensively and flipping that offensively on the first play, but we shoot ourselves in the foot again, and we're going back.
So it's going to be about from 2nd and 2 to about 2nd and 7 for this John Marshall Bear offense. Haven't seen a lot of Golford at running back tonight. He's been more of a defender tonight. Seen a lot of Drennan, seen a lot of Middleton, a lot of Mikel Jackson.
But this offensive set is seeming to be working, so you want to preserve him on offense, use him as much as you can on defense, and allow number 17 and number 13, Mikel Jackson and Kylan Drennan, to make plays.
So it's going to be 2nd and 12, 8:35 and ticking. Middleton, the lone back, empty set. He's going to scramble in the middle of this formation, He's going to get tackled at about the 25-yard line, so he's going to gain all those yards back. First down, John Marshall. That's going to be a Big O's Pork and Dreams first down.
And speed kills. There's no hesitation, no wasted movement in him. He gets the snap. It's a direct run. He speeds right past the first defender getting to him, and he almost speeds past the second set of defenders on the second level. 1st
and 10 at John Marshall's own 25-yard line, 8 minutes left and ticking in the second half, in the third quarter. And it's going to be, balls on the ground,
And
high
I believe
snap.
It was recovered by the Shawnee Wolves.
It was a high snap for Middleton. That ball's on the ground. It looked like it was supposed to be a handoff or some type of motion, wide receiver motion handoff to number 17, Kylan Drennan. They're going to say John Marshall hopped back on the ball, I believe.
Gracefully.
Wow, and we talk about that 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. They've taken about 8 steps back this drive. Really killed a lot of their own momentum.
And again, these are fundamental things. I mean, it's just about getting the snap.
Have to get the snap back there.
Have to get the snap, communicate to your offensive line. All 5 of your offensive line playing as one, starting as one, ending as one, finishing your blocks.
Middleton in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Drennan, the back to his left. And it's another high snap for Middleton. Middleton's going to roll out, make something happen. He's going to evade a sack, roll out to his right, sidearm that one, and it's going to fall to the feet of Mikel Jackson. He almost had something crazy cooking up there.
Yeah, he's almost swallowed up by the pressure, but he gets out. He tries to get the ball off, but again, I mean, he's just a little ambitious.
And that ambitiousness is going to make sure that he doesn't get sacked. So 3rd and 11, 7 minutes and 2 seconds left in this 13-8 ball game. Wolves lead by 5. So,
I mean, he does a great job reversing field on that play. I mean, a lot of people can't get out of that pressure after the high snap.
Looks like he's a little winded. He's taking a little squat. He gets up. 2 receivers to the right of the shotgun formation. Single receiver to the left. He's got an H-back to the right. It's an empty set. And another bad snap, but he's going to corral this one. Rolls out to his right. He's going to evade a guy, roll back out to his left. Fires it, and believe it's going to be caught. No, they're going to say incompletion. I thought Drennan caught that one, but the ref has a much better vantage point. They're going to say hit the ground.
I thought he
So,
got it as well. He got his hands under there, but I guess the nose of that football just hit the turf before his hands.
so 4th and 11, John Marshall at their own 24, 6:52 left. They're going to punt this one back. So the big play by them ends up being null and void.
And you made a great point on how we haven't had Shaz Guilford in the game at running back as much, but you think maybe now if you keep the offense a little honest, do you have a better chance of continuing this drive?
So good snap. Punt almost blocked, but it's still going to get there. It's going to land at about midfield for Shawnee, caught by number 4, Jalen Wicks, the senior. So Shawnee's going to get this one from their own 49-yard line. 6:45 left to go in the third quarter. They're going to get their 7th drive of the game.
I mean, and just with Shawnee's defense forcing the John Marshall offense to punt the ball, it's giving them maybe their 3rd or 4th chance starting a drive at great field position, either past the 50 or around the 50.
And as we mentioned, the last drive for Shawnee did not go well. Interception from their young quarterback, Zyron Campbell, to number 17, Kylan Drennan. As we'll see what they do here, as we see number 5, Landon Davis, back in the backfield. It's going to be a wildcat formation. And Davis is the quarterback. He's going to take this one to the left side of the field. He's going to hit 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20.
Get 2 flags.
And he's going to get pushed out of bounds. There's going to be 2 flags, one in the backfield and one at about the 32 or so of John Marshall. Might have offsetting penalties. Maybe we have penalties on both Shawnee. We'll see as they get this all sorted out.
Yep, and as we see Landon Davis back in the game, he's set at Wildcat. Shawnee hasn't ran too much of the Wildcat. At least I can't say they haven't.
It was really
the start of this game.
Yeah, it was really more that last drive of the second the second quarter, and then they've really this is the first time they've ran it in the second half, So we'll see if this is more of their continued formation, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, anything you can do, I can do better. It seems like for both teams, the personnel they have, it's almost safer ball security-wise to keep running the Wildcat and just using your athleticism to your strength. But, I mean, we haven't seen Shawnee air it out too much, so we might as well go with Landon Davis. We have 2 options at quarterback. We have Jameer Owens and we have Zyron Campbell. Zyron Campbell has shown a lot of promise, but, again, he's a young guy, so you have to be safe with the football.
As we're going to see, they're going to stay in this Wildcat formation with the running back, Landon Davis. The receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got a running back to the left of him. It's going to be a run to the left. No, he's going to take it up the middle. Starts to the left, and he's going to take that one back up the middle for about 5 yards or so. It's going to be about second and call it 15. They got to get to the John Marshall 41-yard line for a first.
Yep, we got a 2nd and long. Great job by the defense, sucking it in, gelling together to make it a short gain.
And we've got an injured John Marshall Bear down.
And it is active Kylan Drennan.
So we hope Kylan Drennan is okay. He's been a key part of this comeback effort, I should say. And we'll step away for a second as we give them a little bit to work on their player. 13-8, 6:10 left when we get back. And welcome back. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Metro Tech, and Chuck Davis State Farm. As it's going to be 2nd and 17, 2nd and 15 for the Shawnee Wolves on offense here. They've been basing out of this Wildcat look this drive, the 7th drive of the game for the Shawnee Wolves. Oh, no. They're actually going to get out of the Wildcat. It's going to be Zyron Campbell back at quarterback. So they tricked me, and it's going to be a little shovel pass, I believe, to one of their receivers. It might have been Beavers. It was Beavers. And that one's going to end up on the ground. Incomplete pass. So 3rd and 17 or so. 5:45 left to go.
Timing's just a little off on that shovel pass. Not a bad design, but again, we got to get that pass right. And quarterback Zyron Campbell has been pretty good on these screens and shovels.
Yeah, really the only mistake we saw from Zyron Campbell was when he was pressured off to his right and he kind of just threw it up there for grabs.
Right, but I mean, as a young quarterback, you're pass happy, you want to throw it, and you're going to learn.
And it's going to be Campbell in the shotgun. He's got his running back, Davis, to his left. Trips receivers to the right. He's going to fire it out to the right. It's going to go hit the ground. He was looking for his receiver, number 3, Ren Carter. It's going to set up 4th and 17. They're going to have to punt this one back to the John Marshall Bears. Good stand by John Marshall. 5:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Great stand by the John Marshall defense, keeping them in their territory. Quarterback Zyron Campbell, again, he gets the snap immediately, rips it to the right side, and it's just a little low for his receiver.
As we'll see Shawnee punt this one again. So just not what you want here. First 2 drives for Shawnee has been a turnover, which was the interception by Drennan, and it was a punt. As that one's going to land at the John Marshall 30 and bounce another 13 yards or so. So it's going to be John Marshall's ball from their own 17-yard line. 5:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They're down by 5. There is also a flag on the field at Shawnee's 40. It's going to be holding on Shawnee. So that's gonna help John Marshall out even more.
Giving them great field possession, maybe the best field possession they get thus far, starting an offensive drive.
Yeah, we're going to see if they do because it looks like John Marshall's going to make them punt it again.
Okay.
So John Marshall's like, hey, you know what, punt it again. We'll see what we can do in the return game with Middleton back there.
Yep, let's go to do it again. Why not? You have nothing to lose. Dorian Middleton's been electric tonight. I would give him the ball as many chances as I can, give him more opportunities on this upcoming drive to make plays.
And we're going to see Shawnee punt it from their own 30-yard line, so they'll try again about 4th and 30 or so. As Middleton back waiting, trying to do something dangerous with this one. And it's a little bit of a ugly punt that's going to bounce into John Marshall territory, but it's going to end up at the John Marshall 48, so way better field position for the Bears.
Way better.
5:14 left in the 3rd quarter. We're going to see what Dorian Middleton and company can do.
And I mean, just when I thought that field position couldn't get any better, here we go again. Shawnee with the penalty in John Marshall's favor. Let's see if they can make something with it.
And we'll see what they can do with this as we'll see if they can get any more first downs. You know, a big O Pork and Dreams first down. You know, you got to get gritty with it.
Got to get gritty. I'd love to see Shaz Guilford get involved in the game. He's had quite a bit of rest now, but I want to see him in the run game. He's physical. He can wear the defense down.
Middleton in the shotgun. It's going to be a quarterback read option. He's going to keep it, and he's going to go to the 50, 45, and he's going to – looks like he tried to hurdle a guy, just ended up jumping over a guy for a first down. So that's going to be a Big O's Pork and Dream first down for John Marshall.
He does, but before that, number 88 for the Shawnee Wolves, LaRon Thomas, I mean, he shoots off the edge like a missile, and Dorian Middleton does a great job avoiding him and getting to the sticks.
See, I had thought that Thomas had jumped off sides.
I thought he did, too.
That's kind of why I'm sure the listeners heard me kind of go, because I thought they were going to throw a flag, but it seemed like he timed it up perfectly. Middleton in the empty set, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Middleton's going to run to the left of this formation, and he's going to get tripped up and jump back to the line of scrimmage to make sure he doesn't lose any yards on that play. So it's going to set up 2nd and 10. John Marshall at the Shawnee 42-yard line.
I mean, great job by number 51, Logan Cash, defensive lineman for the Shawnee Wolves. I mean, it starts in the trenches, and getting off your blocks is tough. So if you're able to get off your block and get at least a finger on that ball carrier, you do it, and he does a great job getting that paw on his shoulder pad, getting him down.
Middleton in the empty set, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got an H-back to the right of this formation, number 6 on the motion. They give it to him. He's going to hit the 40, put his foot in the ground, and he's going to get tackled at the 35-yard line of Shawnee. That was going to be Terrence Caldwell. We've been wondering, where has Terrence Caldwell been? Well, they say, hey, here's the ball, bud.
Yes, we have been wondering, and he gets involved, and that's a great decision, being decisive, getting the ball and cutting straight up the hash, getting great third down, setting up 3rd and manageable, maybe 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I'm going to call it 3rd and 3 for the John Marshall Bears at Shawnee's 35. in the empty formation, through receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, H-back to the right as well. We'll see what Middleton can do. He's going to send Caldwell on motion again. It's going to be a fake to him, and he's going to take it up the middle of the field. He's going to get banged by a few Shawnee Wolves. Pretty tough right there. He takes a couple shots, but he's a tough cat. He gets to the Shawnee, we'll call it 26-yard line for a 1st and 10 with 3:20 ticking.
I mean, he is tough, and it seems like they're softening up that defense. They're softening up the box a little bit. They're continuing to run. Shawnee's just kind of getting hit with some adversity.
Oh, no doubt. And they've got to withstand this adversity. Middleton, empty shotgun set. Through receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. They're going to send Caldwell on the motion. They're going to pass it this time. Middleton throws this one up for his receiver, and they're going to call pass interference. That's going to be pass interference on number 20, Dietrich Beavers, as they try to throw it to number 2, the Enigma.
Yeah, and number 2 does a great job getting up, but number 20, the cornerback for the Shawnee Wolves, Dietrich Beavers, he just gets that push in his back, and the refs are going to call that every single time. His flag's flying.
And looks like Chris Burris loves what he sees. He is getting hype. He is letting his guys know. He's a very emotional guy at times, and he's letting them know he loves what he's seeing. He wants to see more. We see number 17, Kylan Drennan, check back into the game, so that should be something to watch out for. He's been an explosive part of this team tonight, as John Marshall's going to get this ball at Shawnee's 11. So it's going to be 1st and 10, and all they got to do is get to the 1, and they get a new set of downs.
And I know I'm wearing some listeners out right now, but Shaz Goofer, I mean, I feel like he's built for some of these positions. You put him in the backfield, I feel like with just one set of downs, you can get it in the end zone.
He's getting coached up on the sideline by his position coach at linebacker right now. We see Middleton in the shotgun, running back to his right. That's going to be Drennan. 2 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. And it's going to be a kill quarterback read option. Middleton's going to keep it, call his own number, and get to about the 5-yard line. What a run right there as he rips it out of Drennan and keeps it on the quarterback read option.
Great job by the running back being the decoy, drawing in some of those defenders, and a great job by the runner getting it in.
So it's going to be about 2nd and 4 to get to the 1-yard line, and they'll get a new set of downs, 2:34 and ticking in this 3rd quarter. Middleton, the quarterback, Drennan to the left of him in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, H-back to the left of the formation as well. That's going to be number 4, Jeremy Rideau.
I'm going to look for the quarterback keeper here.
And it's going to be another QB read option look. They're going to give it to Drennan. Drennan's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, 14-13. Bears take the lead.
And they had me fooled. I mean, what a great job on the option. You give it to Kylan Drennan, the guy with the hot hand, and he gets it back in the end zone for you.
Kylan Drennan. It's been all Drennan this second half. Drennan, the kick return touchdown, and then the rushing touchdown right there. So shout out to him. He definitely ate his Wheaties before the game started.
Definitely, and if the Shawnee Wolves weren't focusing on him, they're going to be drenning him now.
Oh, yeah, they're drenning it. I like what you did there, as they're going to go for 2 here. Middleton in the shotgun, Drennan to his right, 2 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. They roll out, and Middleton up the middle, 2-point conversion, not a touchdown.
He's almost untouched.
He was pretty much untouched going in there, though. Thanks for the save there, partner, as it's going to be 16-13. John Marshall up by 3, and the script has flipped, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get back to you in a second with our KYZ life-changing bar scoring recap. And welcome back. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Metro Tech, and Chuck Davis State Farm. We are back with the KYZ life-changing bar scoring recap. And, you know, that was set up, that first drive was set up by a 10-yard run on the first play by Middleton, and it ends on a quarterback read option from Middleton. He gives it to Drennan on the touchdown.
But again, clean, efficient football. Their drive starts off, and they're blessed with a penalty from the Shawnee Wolves, and they get back down, and the pass interference gets them in the red zone as they handle business, get in for their second touchdown, go for their second 2-point conversion of the night, and now they're up 3.
And we'll see here Gulford, to kick this one away. Middleton had the 2-point conversion as well. So 16 unanswered points so far for the John Marshall Bears in this offense. That's, special teams sparked this team a little bit. Golford with the kick. It's going to land at about the 27 and die there, as it's going to be picked up by number 1 of Shawnee, and he's going to make a couple guys miss, but ultimately get swarmed by some Bears. Elijah Thomas on the return.
Yeah, a lot of commotion on that return, but luckily the Bears are there to stop them at around the 30, giving the defense good field position at least. This is the furthest they've had the Wolves pin back, I believe, starting the drive.
Yeah, it's been pretty good field position for the Wolves so far tonight. There is a flag on the field. Didn't catch that. We'll see what it is. It's going to be sideline warning on Shawnee. So Shawnee's got to be careful. One of the refs ran into a player, a coach on the sidelines, a trainer, who knows. So they're going to call sideline warning.
And I don't know about anybody else's head coach in high school, but my 2 head coaches were livid if we got any type of sideline warning. And if we actually got a flag for it, we definitely pay for it on Monday.
I mean, it's the type of thing that's preventable, as coaches would say. But sometimes you got guys that really don't want to be there, so they don't know where they're at. But I digress. Shawnee knows where they want to be. They want to be in the end zone here, as they're going to keep it traditional with their quarterback, Zyron Campbell. In the empty set, they got a quad receiver set to the left, single receiver to the right. They're going to fire it out to that quad receiver side on a screen pass, and Shawnee's going to gain about, we'll say, 2 or 3 yards on that play. Believe number 84, Zazon Jones on the catch.
Stop made by the ecstatic number 5, Shaz Guilford, as we've been talking about getting involved on both sides, but he's been very beneficial on the defensive side for the Bears.
He's been someone that's flying around the field. That might be a reason why they're keeping him out of offense, just because of how valuable he is as that middle linebacker.
And, I mean, it's smart. It's a smart thing to do. You got a lot of guys playing 2 ways, but you want Shaz Guilford at that linebacker position to continue to anchor the defense and force these stops.
2nd and 7 for Campbell at quarterback. He's going to give it to Deshaw. Deshaw, he tries to put his head down, but he goes nowhere. I thought the ball might have came out, but it didn't. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Deshaw tried to power his way forward. He's not built like that, though. He's kind of built more like a Darren Sproles.
And, again, who other making that stop but Shaz Guilford coming over top. He jumps up on top, and he just kind of swarms over the ball carrier, making his impact known on this drive.
So it's going to be about 3rd and 6. 48 seconds left on the clock and counting. Shawnee's got the ball on their own 37. Campbell in the shotgun. Running back to his right, the receivers to the right, and a single receiver to the left. Campbell surveying the defense. Looks like pressure might be coming. Campbell, he's going to sit in the pocket. He's going to move up in the pocket, and he's going to run into some of his linemen. Ball comes out. John Marshall's going to fall on the football, and their defense made a huge play. I believe that's going to be big number 75.
I believe the ball was forced out by number 58 senior Creighton Sandersfield. That was a busy pile over there, though.
So it's going to be picked up and recovered by number 79, Nathaniel Seigal. What a play by him. He falls on top of that. But what have we seen so far here tonight? Just a lot of game-changing plays in the second half, momentum flipping.
I feel like that was the best from the defensive front from the Bears. I mean, the pocket collapses in the perfect time, and they swarm the quarterback, and they get him to lose the football. And turnovers are going to be key in keeping this momentum and getting in the end zone again for the Bears.
John Marshall starting this one at the Shawnee 35. Middleton's going to hand that one off to Drennan. Drennan's going to take that. He's going to get to about the 18-yard line of Shawnee. What a good run there. They found something with that Middleton-Drennan combo tonight.
Yeah, Drennan's running with some thump. He's got some good pad level mixed with the speed, so he's falling forward, being very efficient, getting big gains for the Bears.
And, we've seen just this Middleton-Drennan show in the second half. It's been very good, and we're going to take this one to the fourth quarter. 16-13, John Marshall driving. 2nd and 3 when we get back. Fourth quarter is going to be lit, guys. We'll see you guys in a few moments.
Let's go.
And welcome back. We are here for fourth quarter action. You're listening to John Marshall Football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Metro Tech, and Chuck Davis State Farm. So we pick up in a very drama-filled fourth quarter.
I mean, we blinked and the third quarter was gone.
We blinked in the third quarter. There was so much action. You know, we had a kick return for a touchdown. We had the Drennan touchdown as Middleton here in the empty formation in the shotgun. Drennan on the motion. It's going to be a keeper for Middleton. Middleton's going to hit the 20, get to the 15, bounce off a tackler, and land at about the 11-yard line. And wow, what another good play to start the fourth quarter.
I mean, when you talk about bouncing off and absorbing contact, I mean, he absorbs no blow from 24 Day Shaw as he absorbs it and he spins off of it, getting closer and closer to that pylon.
Very big play by Middleton on the QB read option on the motion with it was a QB read option with Drennan coming in the motion from the wide receiver spot. We're going to see Middleton in the empty formation again, three receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. He's got an H-back to the right as well. That's going to be Rideau. It's going to be a keeper for Middleton. Middleton's going to hit that, and he's going to trip and fall, I believe. And he's going to trip and fall at about the 5 or 6 yard line of Shawnee.
It's a rare trip, but it looks like we got one of the big uglies down there on the ground. Number 71, Traquan Johnson.
And we
up
hope
front for the Bears.
We hope he's okay. He was down earlier in the game. We hope this is not a lingering, recurring thing.
Not at all.
And 11:08 left in this fourth quarter. We're going to take this break with them. We'll be right back with y'all in a moment. And welcome back. Traquan Johnson looks like he's going to be okay. He jogs off to the side on his own power. 2nd and 5 for the John Marshall Bears. They've got to get to the 1 yard line, and they'll reset the downs, and they'll have 4 more to go. We'll see what they've got in store for Shawnee's defense here. Probably a run for Middleton or Drennan, I suppose.
Yeah, but I want to compliment Dorian Middleton at his vision. His vision at the Wildcat position has been exceptional tonight as he's had to go through a lot of different progressions. Not a lot, but a lot of different situations, and the defense has thrown the whole kitchen sink at him, so he's doing well.
Middleton in the empty set, going to send Drennan in on the motion. It's going to be a fake to Drennan. Middleton's going to keep it, and there's going to be a lot of junk in the backfield. He's going to have to try to make something out of nothing, and he can't on that play, as he's going to lose about 2 yards on that. Going to be about 3rd and 7 on a huge drive here for John Marshall. They could really make this game, put it out of reach, make it 2 possessions.
And this is a big 3rd down, maybe the biggest of the game. I mean, you're in your red zone at the 10. You want to slow down the pace a little bit as we see early signs of a trips formation.
Yeah, they're going to be in the empty set here for Middleton. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, H-back to the right. And Middleton's going to fire it to the single receiver side. That's going to be a touchdown! Wow, what a score. As they fool everyone, they throw a touchdown there. What a play. I believe that's going to be the number 2. We don't have his name, but the Enigma. What a touchdown.
The Enigma. I mean, what a great play. What a great setup.
And it's going to be at least 22-13. We'll see what they do if they go for 2 or if they kick the extra point. 22 unanswered here for John Marshall.
And I wonder how much they were watching that matchup on the end, but they chose the right time to exploit that size differentiation, and he catches the ball outside of the end zone, but he just kind of loops around another defender untouched to get in.
They're going to go for 2 here. Middleton in the empty set, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. They're going to send in Drennan on the motion, and it's going to be a fake to Drennan. Middleton keeps it. He goes up the middle, and he's not going to get it this time. He's not going to get it. 22-13, only a 9-point game, but 2 possessions, 10-11 left in this fourth quarter. It's been all John Marshall for the second half as we have a KYZ life-changing bar as we had a touchdown pass from Middleton to number 2, the Enigma. I'm going to keep calling him that.
I mean, first touchdown pass, it seems like, again, they wanted to exploit the mismatch over there on the end. It's a valiant effort by Dorian Middleton on the two-point conversion, but he's just stopped maybe like half a yard from getting that ball in the end zone.
And as we talked about that size difference, we had number 2 for John Marshall. He's probably a good 6'2", and he's lined up against number 20, Dietrich Beavers, the sophomore. Dietrich Beavers, we're going to give him some height here. He's probably 5'6", 5'7". And
right, but I mean, he's one of those speedster guys. So you see his build as you see him walk in his position on the return team. He's not the hugest guy.
You kind of want to post him up there, like Calvin Johnson, like scenario. Hey, just toss it up to him, throw it at the highest point. My guy's bigger, he'll catch it.
I mean, you do, and then when you're a winless team, you want to keep it simple and take what the defense is giving to you in any situation in the game possible.
10-11 left in the fourth quarter. 22-13 is the score in this ball game. John Marshall, it's been all them in the second half. I'm not sure what the coach told him. Maybe he promised them pizza after the game.
Hey, Coach Barrett's got that recipe, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe
he whipping up, man. As you see, he's high-fiving and hugging his lineman right now, letting them know how much he loves them and appreciates them.
And he's hype. I mean, this is the most active we've seen him cut up and down the sideline.
You'll be pretty hungry for your first win as Gulford kicks this one off. It's going to land out of bounds. So pretty good field position to start this drive for Shawnee. Shawnee, since the second half has started, they've gone interception, punt, fumble. And they don't need that. They need to have some more positive plays. You can't go interception, 3-and-out, fumble.
Not at all. And I mean, this is a well-coached team, so this is nothing that their coach hasn't seen before. As well as John Marshall has been playing, is as lousy as Shawnee has been recently on these 3 drives. I mean, you get a turnover on downs, and you get a turnover, and you get a punt. So you just want to see some progression from Shawnee. It seems like John Marshall has found their recipe, even in the kicking game, for getting good field position. They got him pinned at around the 30 for 2 drives back-to-back.
So John Marshall's going to have to defend this one. Shawnee's going to have the ball at their own 35-yard line. And we'll see what they do here formation-wise. And looks like they're going to go back to the Wildcat with Landon Davis at quarterback. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Davis is going to get the snap. He's going to run to his right, and he's going to get about 5 to 6 yards on that carry. And it's going to be a pretty sizable gain on first down. Second and about 4, we'll call it, as we're less than 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 9-point ball game.
Kylan Drennan was coming in hot. He's at that DP position, and he's just shooting through, coming with some heat. Again, lowest man wins. He comes to the feet, and he sweeps them off.
As they waste no time, they kind of quick huddle here. Number 5, Landon Davis, 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Got a running back to his left as well. It's going to be a snap. He's going to run to his left, and he's going to have a convoy and get to about the 49 of Shawnee. And had about 2 or 3 guys blocking for him, gained about 6, 7 more on that play.
Yeah, great blocks by the Wolves, and great job flowing with the ball. The offense is flowing as one. Great job getting that first down. They're starting to build a little momentum.
Yeah, they are, as they're going to make sure that this is their best drive so far to start the second half. 9 minutes left to go in this game.
Loving that Wildcat still.
Looks like they're going to check out of the Wildcat.
As we have checked out. I'm paying attention to Landon Davis' tweets.
You're good, man. And that's going to be Campbell rolling out to his right, firing it to his right, and it's going to go off the hands of the outstretched Jalen Wicks. Jalen Wicks has had a tough game catching the ball tonight, and that's not going to help his self-confidence at all.
Tough, but again, as you just mentioned, we finally get out of that Wildcat and we go back to the conventional. We get our young quarterback back in, and again, he's pass happy, so you want to see them kind of get some handoffs with Landon Davis, see him just kind of attack the ground with the quarterback in. You might have a different dynamic.
As Shawnee looks like is there going to be a penalty? Looks like there's going to be a penalty on Shawnee. Not sure what that is going to be.
Neither do I.
An eligible receiver down the field, so it's going to set up about 2nd and 20 for the Shawnee Wolves. And refs are still discussing stuff. Waiting to, so the refs are going to move this one up 5 yards. So instead of 1st and 20, it's going to be 1st and 15. Or excuse me, 2nd and 15. So the refs were a little confused about how many yards the penalty was, but they get it figured out.
Right.
And it's going to be 1st and 15, not 2nd and 15. So we've had some mess-ups with the yardages and the mess-ups with the markers, but we're all good now. As it's going to be Campbell in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left and right, Davis to his right. And it's going to be a rollout to the right. Nope, it's going to be a delayed handoff to Davis. He's going to take it to the left. He's going to make a juke, and he's going to get into – oh, balls are out! Wow, and it's going to be recovered by Shawnee as – wow, it looked like Davis had some room to run. He made a move at the 50. He got into John Marshall territory. Ball was hit out as he was tackled, and a Shawnee ball carrier hopped on top of it.
I mean, luck strikes for the Shawnee Wolves as the quarterback. He makes a great read as Landon Davis is prepared to make a block. He hands it off to him. Dorian Middleton is chasing him all the way up the field. Great job by Landon Davis.
And, yep, Landon Davis, he's got to hold on to the rock a little bit, but good run nonetheless. 2 receivers to the left and right. Campbell, the quarterback, Davis to his left. Campbell's got the snap. He's going to run to his left, and he's got nowhere to go. He's going to lose about 3 or 4 yards on that play. Maybe the inexperience of Campbell there, he could have just tossed it, and you know, he could have started out of bounds, not lose any yards. So it goes from 2nd and about 2 to 3rd and about 6.
I mean, definitely some inexperience because even if he wanted to use his blocker, he could have reversed field and possibly gained something, but the inexperience prevails as Shawnee sets up for a 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. They list it for Shawnee. 7:59 to go. Campbell, the quarterback, with Davis to his right. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. They're going to flop Davis to the left side of the formation of the quarterback. Campbell gets the snap, and it's going to be a false start. No, they're not going to call the false start. He's going to throw it deep, almost intercepted. Might have been offensive PI, but they're not going to call it. A wide receiver for Shawnee definitely went early, but they didn't call it. That's why I said there was a false start. It threw me off.
And in regards to the play on the ball, I mean, the defensive back does a great job. He's not too handsy with the receiver. He turns around in just enough time to engage with the receiver and disengage him with the football.
So it's going to be about 4th and 7. Shawnee's going to have to go for it, down by 9. They can't play defense here. And we hear the Undertaker music. Where's he at?
And we know what that means.
It's do or die. John Marshall defense, they've been clutch tonight. They've been pretty good in the first half. They have been outstanding in the second half. Campbell in the shotgun. Trips receivers to the right. He's rolling out to his right. It's going to be a penalty, pre-snap penalty. Probably going to be a false start. Probably going to be a false start. Another mental mistake from Shawnee as they've had a lot of them in the second half.
It looks like we're having a little confusion with that bunch formation with those 3 receivers.
It's going to be a false start. So Shawnee, instead of 4th and 7, it's going to be 4th and 12. And, you know, you go from 4th and, maybe we can do it to 4th, and it's looking bleak.
Yeah, but, I mean, down in distance, you never know what Shawnee can throw at you. They've even thrown a quads formation with their receivers on the field side. So you never know what to expect from the Wolves.
Shawnee at their own 48. Bad snap. It's going to hit the ground, but Campbell's going to pick it up. Campbell looking. He's going to get no, he doesn't get sacked by Guilford. Guilford misses him. And, what a pass! What a pass! As Campbell on 4th and 12, finds his receiver on the right sideline, and that's going to keep the chains moving. John Marshall, all the air is sucked out of their sideline.
And like I mentioned, down in distance, that can completely change the situation. The quarterback does a great job. I mean, Shaz Guilford, he sees his opportunity, so he shoots at the quarterback, and he puts him in the roundabout, but he gets out, and he shoots that ball out and makes a great throw on 4th and long.
Looked like a little bit of sidearm action. Guilford could have had him there. He could have, if he would have wrapped up a little bit better, they have the ball, and they're going to sit on it.
You got to hone in on that inside leg when you're tackling an open field DB to wrestle him down.
Campbell in the shotgun. He's going to fire it out to the trips receiver side to the left. It's going to be caught by number 3. That's going to be Ren Carter. He makes a guy miss, and then he pays for it, smacked by a couple John Marshall players.
Great job coming with the heat. Number 17, Kylan Drennan, as we've spoke his name many a times during this game, continues to make his impact felt and letting the ball carrier know that him and his Bears are coming to hit.
So 2nd and 10, 7 minutes and 5 seconds left, 7 minutes and, 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go, We got a good one here, 22-13, John Marshall up by 9. Shawnee in the shotgun here, Campbell the quarterback, 2 receivers to the left and right. He's got a running back to his left. Campbell rolling to his right.
Feeling the pressure.
And he's going to fire it right, and he's going to fire it right over the head of his receiver. He had a guy kind of open. That was going to be number 4, Jalen Wicks. We haven't seen him catch one tonight, but he's been open and he's been been targeted, excuse me.
I mean, great job by the defender, James Allen, DB, sophomore for the John Marshall Bears, defending number 4, Jalen Wicks, who's had a long night, but, I mean, he was defended very well on that play.
He's a senior, and they're going to lean on him here. 3rd and 10. Big 3rd and 10. John Marshall trying to force 4th down here. Shawnee trying to get about half of this to make 4th down a little bit easier.
As we get Landon Davis even split out.
Empty set. It's going to be Campbell in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 3 receivers to the right. Campbell looking to his left. He's looking towards Davis. He's going to fire it deep. Oh! Davis stopped running on the route. If he didn't stop running, he might have hit him in the end zone.
He might have had. That's the ambitious young quarterback, and it's just a little miscommunication. It seems like they haven't been in that situation too many times, but they fail to seize that opportunity as we head to 4th down.
4th and 10. Shawnee at the John Marshall 39. Campbell looking to have another rabbit out of his hat as they completed the 4th and 12 earlier. They're looking to complete a 4th and 10. 6:37 left to go. Shawnee at the John Marshall 39-yard line. It's a 9-point ball game. John Marshall looking to put a stranglehold on this one. Campbell in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. He's got his running back to the right. He awaits the snap. He gets the snap. He's looking to his left. He's going to step in the pocket. He's going to get hit by 3 John Marshall Bears and sacked for a loss. 6:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. John Marshall takes over with turnover on downs. What a play there.
Great job with the turnover on downs. Defensive front, I mean, they're coming with all the pressure. They swallow him up. The young quarterback doesn't feel the pressure as he gears up, ready to throw, but he's swallowed by the Bears as they get the ball back on the 40-yard line.
As we see Chris Burris emphatically clapping his hands, he is letting him know that he is very much approving of the effort tonight by his team. Truly a second-half comeback of proportions that maybe John Marshall hasn't seen in a while.
I mean, and like we spoke of, the stakes are high, the highest they've been all season, and they come out the second half and they respond like no other.
Middleton in the shotgun. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper to the right, and he's going to get to the John Marshall 46-yard line.
Number 4, Jeremy Rideau, does a great job sliding down in motion and being a lead blocker for the John Marshall Bears as we could pick up about 3 or 4.
And there's going to be a flag on this play. It's going to be a face mask on Shawnee. 15-yard penalty. That's a personal foul. So Shawnee, a lot of mental mistakes in the second half. They really have cost themselves some points here in the second half.
They definitely have, and possibly cost them the game because in this second half, again, we haven't had a successful offensive drive yet.
Oh, we have not, and it's going to set up another 1st down for the John Marshall Bears. It's going to be a Big O's Pork and Dreams 1st down. Big O's Pork and Dreams is the best barbecue in Oklahoma City. If you haven't had the famous Fat Bud Spud, you haven't lived life. Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations to serve you with a location in Edmond and Midwest City. Tell Big O that we sent you. John Marshall getting ready to take another snap here. They're going to try to burn every second of the clock off, no doubt. Kind of try to treat it like a controlled forest fire.
Right, and now time of possession is playing in John Marshall's favor as it was in Shawnee's favor for a majority of this game.
As they're going to stay in the shotgun here. Middleton's going to give it to number 5, Golford. We haven't called his name a lot. Golford, he doesn't gain any yards on that. It's going to be about a negative 2 to 3 yard loss, but, hey, he gets his first carry of the game.
Yep, he gets his first carry again. We wanted to see his offensive impact as well as defensive impact, and he's just read like a book. Number 10, Ryan High, comes through for the Shawnee Wolves, met by his former Wolf, Logan Cash, number 51.
And Middleton looking at his offensive coordinator, Sean Love, trying to make sure he's getting his play calls right, seeing the signals right.
Yep, shout out Sean Love, former Oklahoma State receiver.
Middleton in the shotgun. Golford to his right. It's going to be a snap to him, and he's going to keep it, run to the right, 50, 45, 40. He's going to get tripped up and fall at about the Shawnee 38-yard line. He would have banged his head on the end zone, it looked like. He had nothing but green grass.
Right, and as I know he's punching himself now as he tripped, but what a great job by that John Marshall unit, holding onto their blocks and creating that gap for him to shoot through. Dorian Middleton, he's such a speedster. As we cross midfield and we continue to progress on this drive.
Yeah, this is the 8th drive tonight for the John Marshall Bears. They've had nothing But good things in the second half happen on offense, as we're going to see Middleton in the shotgun. Single receiver to his left, and he's going to take it and run up the middle. And he's going to put his foot in the ground and juke 30, and he's going to high step to the 25. He's going to do it with style as he gets out at the 25-yard line of Shawnee.
Number 56, Alante Benford, loses his hat on the play. He has to come out as we get number 75 subbing in for him, number 79, Nathaniel Saggio.
And what a play there by the athlete Middleton, man. He high steps like Walter Payton out of bounds.
I mean, he does.
Like Deion Sanders.
He's so athletic, and, I mean, you might as well start to use it to your ability, you know what I'm saying? Create some elusiveness, stutter step him, try to get your defender a step behind you so you can run by him.
Something for them to think about later on, and something to put on film, too. 5:03 left in this fourth quarter, 22-13. John Marshall is winning. Middleton's the only back.
And we get a flag stopping the play.
Yep, pre-snap penalty. Not sure if everyone was set. And it's going to be a false start on John Marshall, one of the big hog mollies up front.
As we're getting some substitutions, like I said, we have Nathaniel Saggio coming in for Alante Benford, who has to sit out for a play.
Timeout on the field. Timeout on the field with 5:02 left, 22-13. It's going to be a timeout brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's Sporting Goods, it's the place to go to get your sports apparel. And I guess we'll talk a little bit about what we've seen so far.
I mean, hey, bro, we got a one-possession game with a few minutes left in this fourth quarter. We've got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, not 9 points, and it's going to take a miracle for Shawnee to win this one. That they would have to score a touchdown and get an onside kick and then score again. So it's definitely doable. I just don't know if it's possible.
True. I mean, it would take a lot for these Shawnee Wolves, but what a performance by the John Marshall Bears coming back to their home field, establishing some sort of dominance on the offensive side of the football. We've established some continuity more than ever this season with this Wildcat attack, and we're probably going to see a lot more of this throughout the season.
I mean, hey, you got to keep doing what you do when you win games. You know, keep the formula simple. Keep it the same, like the KFC chicken secret recipe, you know.
Hey, man, same old 13 spices.
Herbs and spices.
Same 13, man.
Hey, I'm not a fan of the Colonel, but respect. He revolutionized the chicken game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Colonel, man. I really go to that golden chick.
I go to Popeyes because I love that chicken from Popeyes.
I don't blame you there, man. With that biscuit, you're going to need a beverage.
No, see, I get the chicken from Popeyes. I get the biscuits from Church's.
Okay, I see. He's a little sophisticated.
Yeah, I got process. Middleton in the shotgun. He's going to be in the empty set. He's going to send his main man, number 17, Drennan. Drennan's going to get the ball and take it for about 2 or 3 yards. And Drennan, man, has the other team really been dreading him. Dreading him.
And we had, I believe that's number 9 for the Shawnee Wolves. We haven't seen him very active, but a great job manning down that edge on that play.
And we see 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. John Marshall going to do everything they can to deflate the football here, so to speak, just run it. Middleton in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Drennan. Drennan's going to take that, and for about 10 yards, 10, 12 yards on that play, going to get to the Shawnee 12-yard line, and they're knocking on the door of scoring again. We'll see what they decide to do here.
Right, their plan is to bleed the clock, but they waste no attempts. Kyle Drennan straight up the gut as he runs. He spins off a defender, and we get a first down.
And just to give you a preview of what John Marshall has done this second half, had a kick return for a touchdown from Drennan. They punted the ball. Then Drennan scored on a rushing touchdown with a 2-point conversion by Middleton. And then we had a touchdown pass from Middleton to receiver number 2.
His touchdown was set up by that interception, not to just completely cut you off.
No, you good, because we need that context there. As Middleton in the shotgun. Drennan's his running back. It's going to be a quarterback read option. Middleton's going to keep it, and he's going to get tackled by 2 Shawnee Wolves, and he's going to get to the Shawnee 9-yard line. 3:40 and ticking left in this one.
We see number 64 getting active for the Shawnee Wolves, DeMario Joyner.
Yeah, the sophomore.
Sophomores getting some action. As we knew, it was a lot of sophomores on this team. We only have 10 seniors on the Shawnee Wolves team, so we're seeing a lot of young guys. Some juniors and some sophomores make impact. We've even seen a freshman come in on a big 4th down in their red zone.
Oh, I would say that Shawnee and John Marshall are two teams of the future in their classes, as we're going to see John Marshall in the shotgun. It's going to be Middleton and Drennan as the two backs. It's going to be a snap to Middleton. Middleton's going to take it and run to the right. He's going to go to the 10, 5. He's going to
get a flag.
And there's going to be a flag. Looked like he tried to juke himself into the open hole right there at the 5, but he tripped over and fell. It's going to be a face mask on the offense. So not sure if it was, if it's on the ball carrier or if it's on illegal hands at the face. I'm not exactly sure. Or it's going to be holding, excuse me. I'm holding. I was definitely confused there for a second, but we got it all figured out.
Right. I mean, it comes at a bad time. Like you said, it's a 9-point game, so it's going to be a little challenge for Shawnee to get a good attempt to win this game, but John Marshall still has to play clean. They have to play it close.
As John Marshall, 2:50 and ticking left for this offense, 2nd and 15. Middleton in the backfield with Drennan. It's going to be a pass. He's going to fire it, and that looks like it's almost intercepted by Beavers. The man that got caught on for a touchdown almost was the hero right there.
I mean, right. He rises to the occasion. He rises up to high point the football, but can't bring it down as he's coming to the ground.
Not sure what Sean Love and Chris Burris were thinking right there,
I mean, it was a piece of cake the first time you tried it, so why not try it again? But, I mean, Beavers is there. He's ready. He's played a lot this game, so I didn't see him missing his opportunity on that call getting singled out again.
2:39 left to go. 3rd and 15 for the John Marshall offense. Empty set for them. Middleton, the lone back, the quarterback, 2 receivers to the left. They're going to send Mikael Jackson on the motion. It's a handoff to Jackson. He's got the corner. Oh, he almost loses the ball, but he makes a couple guys miss, and he's going to gain about 2 or 3 yards on that play. Number 10 for Shawnee, Ryan High. Looks like he's got a hurt ankle.
Yeah, Ryan High's been flying all over the place. We had some key blocks going on that left side, but we just couldn't get him to hold. Shawnee gets off those John Marshall blockers, and they get the ball carriers. We got a lot of commotion on this side of the field.
And there's some pushing and shoving going on between the two teams. 2:07 left to play in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure if a timeout was called by Shawnee. I'm going to guess it was.
But, hey, this is maybe the first time we've seen some emotions come out. I saw a late hit on that last touchdown by John Marshall, late hit by one of those Shawnee Wolves. But emotion is definitely rising as these two winless teams are coming down to the end of this game. One team will be crowned victorious, and by the looks of it, it's going to be the John Marshall Bears.
Yeah, 1:55 left to go in the fourth quarter. John Marshall up by 9 points. It's pretty much sealed and wrapped up. Depending on what happens here in the last few plays of this game.
Just protect the football.
Not sure what exactly is going on. Looks like the ref is talking to Chris Burris. So, I'm not sure what is going on. I believe, it's going to still be John Marshall ball. It's a little bit of a confusing last few moments on the field. But Middleton will be in the shotgun in an empty set.
I mean, nonetheless, it's gratifying as you see him flex into his whole offense and even the sideline. The clock is ticking, about under a minute 40 now in the fourth quarter.
Yep, Middleton in the shotgun. Single receiver to the left. He's got 3 to the right, H-back to the right as well. 1:30 left to go. I'm not sure what's going on with the clock.
Not too sure, but it's still running like a faucet.
But it's going to be a timeout by John Marshall. That's going to be a Dick's Sporting Goods timeout. They are our timeout sponsor, Dick's Sporting Goods. About 1:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. 4th and 15 for the John Marshall Bears. We'll see if they decide to just run it, throw it. Really probably run it and just play defense. What are you thinking?
4th and 15, I would honestly punt the ball. I would have
You're going to punt it? You're going to punt it right here?
Is this a 4th down?
Yeah, but you're at your own, 20. You going to punt it?
Oh, excuse me, my bad. I'm confused. Is there a split? I'm sitting there thinking we're going on the other side of the field. Excuse me. So 4th and 15, going into the end zone. As you saw, number 2, they're trying to get him singled out over there on that mismatch.
Yeah.
Wildcats been very successful. I say you just go with the read option again. Dorian Middleton and Kylan Drennan, I mean, when you come thus far, you might as well trust your guys.
I feel that, man. And shoot, maybe you do punt it. Maybe you do a little pooch punt, bro. Maybe a little Capitol Hill action.
That would completely throw the defense off. I don't know how successful it would be, but hey, you never know.
And the timeout's going to be finished. 1:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. 22-13. John Marshall Bears up, and they're looking to move to 1-5 as Shawnee looks like they're going to fall to 0-6.
And this is a non-district game. This is the last non-district game for these two.
Homecoming.
Right,
for
homecoming.
John Marshall, so a big W.
Big W.
We'll see if they can officially seal this one off and get this one marked with a W.
And Coach Bears, I mean, you've seen him. He's been energetic up and down this sideline. This whole coaching staff has been enthused this game. They've been coaching up their players throughout the whole game. This is going to be a great win for the program.
Middleton's going to be in the empty shotgun set. The receivers to their left. They send Drennan on the motion, and he's going to scramble. Middleton scrambling to his right. He's going to hit the 20, 15, 10. He's going to make a guy miss. 5. He's going to make another guy miss, and
he's still on his feet.
He's going to end up in the end zone. Touchdown, John Marshall. There is a flag on the 22-yard line. We'll see what that's for, but touchdown, Dorian Middleton. We're waiting to see what the flag is for.
Right, and as we're waiting on this flag, if the play stands as called, what a great job by Dorian Middleton getting out to the sideline. He's outrunning the big boys. He's shaking guys on the second level, and he's fighting his way into the end zone. Unfortunately, we have a Shawnee Wolf down by the goal line.
I'm not sure what number that is. We'll let you guys know when we find out, but what a play by Dorian Middleton there. And regardless, that play's going on my highlight. I'll tell you that.
I mean, what a play. I don't know if we have a lot of football watchers out here, but it's a famous play by Lamar Jackson when he's in high school. It's about the same down and distance, same position on the field. He runs, and he just kind of stops like he's at a crosswalk, lets his defender go straight by him, and he just steps into the end zone. He was 1 second away from that, but there was a lot of Shawnee Wolves at that goal line.
And then he was carried into the end zone by his boys. You know, they kind of pulled him forward a little bit, giving that last little nudge he needed.
I mean, I really hope that play stands. Dorian Middleton has been exceptional on offense. We get an offense that finally opens up tonight and looking to get their first win. I mean, he's a great candidate for player of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. As we have, looks like that flag's going to be on the offense, on John Marshall. We're going to say it was holding. It's going to be at the Shawnee 32-yard line. So, John Marshall, this is a scenario where maybe you do punt.
I mean, you never know. I mean, I kind of thought I was sounding like a crazy man, but it seems like the situation might come into fruition.
It might. You know, maybe you do punt right here. Maybe you do a little sky punt right here. Maybe you throw it. Maybe you just throw it deep into the end zone. Try to throw a pick inside the 5 or something. You know, we've seen interceptions act like punts in various forms of football.
Right. And, of course, they love the way 22-13 looks, so you don't want to give them any opportunities to score whatsoever, especially on a homecoming night.
And it showed. What did we say earlier? We said that the missed extra point opportunity for Shawnee could come back to bite them, and it did, because it would be an 8-point game, one possession.
It did, exactly.
And they would have been able to play defense earlier around the 8-9 minute mark. So points matter, especially in slobber knockers, ugly games like this.
Yes, sir. Great note, DB. But, I mean, with the stakes being so high, the competition level being so even, it comes down to the smallest increments of the game.
Middleton gets this pass. He was in the empty set shotgun set, and he's going to get sacked. What a play by Shawnee, the edge rusher. I believe that was number 9 for Shawnee.
Still don't have his name. He's the enigma for the Wolves.
Yeah, that's going to be number 9. We do not have his name, correct. So what a play there. And it's going to set up decent field position for Shawnee. Minute and 6 seconds left to go. Shawnee going to have this one at their own 44-yard line. So they can make it pretty hairy here, pretty dicey.
It's getting a little sticky right here, DB. And as we see one of those guys, I call it helicopter tackling when you grab the guy and you just kind of spin him. But that time, big number 9, he gets a grip on him. It works for him. He gets his team the ball back at about the 44-yard line, excuse me.
We're going to see Campbell back in at quarterback. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. He's going to roll out to the right.
Pressure coming by the Bears, number 32.
Oh, number 32! What a big hit by number 32 from the Bears. That's going to be Sean Powell. What a big hit as he hits him on the blind side. Campbell had no indication that guy was coming right for him.
I mean, Sean Powell, he's showing blitz pre-snap. The Bears have been showing blitz quite a bit. They've been chasing the quarterback. They've had opportunities to chase him down, but that time, The margin is just too short. Sean Powell comes in and he wraps him up for the sack.
Yeah, so, we give you a little bit of the drive summaries for the games. John Marshall, if it's going to end like this, 8 drives on offense so far for them tonight. Shawnee, they're on their 10th drive of their game so far on offense, and we can kind of go down the list of their second half, and this is the reason why the score is the way it is and why they've led up 22 unanswered. They threw a pick to start the half to Drennan, and then the punt, then a fumble, turnover on downs, and a sack.
In the opening kick was returned for the touchdown. I mean, it was just all John Marshall out the gate.
And then on this 10th drive, they just suffered a sack, so it's going to be second and about 20-ish and so. And like you said, the Drennan kick return really just was like gasoline to an open flame.
I mean, everything you said from that list, all the drives from the second half, I mean, nothing positive. I mean, anything you do defensively is going to be very small if you can't match the points that John Marshall has finally been able to put on the board.
Campbell in the shotgun, and he's going to be pressured. What a huge job by this John Marshall defense. He's going to be sacked by number 56, Alante Benford, the senior.
Great job by that defensive line again. I mean, they're being a force to be reckoned with. Number 56, Alante Benford, he's been pretty busy, but he comes in, he gets that arm around and pulls him down. Great job by the senior.
Another timeout brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. That's going to be another timeout brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. And just a huge sack right there by the defense. Shawnee calls another timeout. I believe that's their second that they've used this half. It might be their third. We'll see. I believe there's about 38 seconds or so left in this one to play. We'll see if you're John Marshall, just, keep everyone in front of you.
Keep everyone in front of you. Maintain possession of the ball. Make sure you're watching the clock at all times. And just play clean. I mean, we talked about that in pregame, DB. That was going to be the determining factor for the winner. It's going to be a determining factor now. So we just want to continue to play together and finish this one off, man. Get this first win for Coach Burris.
Yes, Coach Burris trying to find that first dub. It's been so elusive for him, but he might have finally found it, kind of like the Lucky Charms mascot, Wins are for winners, and he's going to be a winner tonight. As we're going to see Campbell in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. He's going to roll out to the right. He's going to run it up the middle, directing traffic for blocks, and he's going to get out of bounds at about the Shawnee 48-yard line. Big pickup there by Campbell. Only took 8 seconds off the clock, and he's going to get it to a very third and manageable for his offense.
Right. I mean, the secondary is fully occupied while that front seven is coming up, putting pressure on the quarterback. So he just lets the linebacker step up. He gets by him. Great job getting the positive yardage, but sets up a 4th down.
It's going to be about 4th and 6 for the Shawnee offense. Campbell in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right and left. He's got a running back to his left. And he's dropping back. It's going to be a screen pass to number 24. He's got room to run. He's got the first down and more. 40, 35. He breaks a tackle. 30, 25. And he's going to run out of bounds at the 22-yard line. That's going to be Deshaw on the screen pass, the sophomore. We've seen him take a run to the house for 40-plus yards, and he has a big explosive catch and run there for about 20 yards or so.
Right, and again, a blow for the John Marshall defense. Deshaw, I mean, he does a great job accelerating upfield. We got the secondary occupied, but we got to get our heads flipped knowing that ball is at short yardage right now.
Wow, and about 20 seconds left in this one. 4th quarter, 1st and 10 for the Shawnee Wolves. 2 receivers to the left and right. Campbell surveying the field, looks to his left, fires it to his left. That one's going to be out of bounds. He was looking for number 3, Ren Carter. 15 seconds left to go in this one. Shawnee trying to score real quick.
I mean, it looks like we might have enough time for 1 play.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2, depending on what they call.
You got to imagine this one has to go to the end zone.
Right. I mean, they have the players to do so. They've ran great in this Wildcat set. But we have young quarterback out there, Zyron Campbell, attempting to get in the end zone.
Zyron Campbell's got 2 receivers to the left and 2 receivers to the right. His running back is going to be number 24 to the left, and he's going to roll out. It's going to be another screen play, but he's got nowhere to go with it. He's pressured. He's rolling out to his right. He's going to fire it, and that one's going to hit the turf and skid off. It's going to set up 3rd and 10. 6 seconds left to go in this one.
And certainly, I know a lot of people didn't see number 79, Nathaniel Saggio, coming through, wreaking all havoc. I mean, he makes the right guard and the right tackle eat the dust in pursuit
Looks
to the
like they
quarterback.
tried to run the same exact play they did the day Shaw on the screen, and that time it didn't work. Way too much pressure in the face of the quarterback. So Campbell, he's got a chance to make the score look a little bit better. Not a chance to win this game. Two receivers to the left and right. Campbell in the shotgun.
Great job to take a shot and maybe build some confidence for the young guy.
Campbell dropping back, looking to his left, scrambling. He's going to fire this one. It's going to find his receiver, and he's going to get caught. He's going to catch that one as time expires. I believe that's going to be Wicks. Yep, the senior Wicks on his first catch of the night.
And the John Marshall Bears are finally victorious, the first time for the season.
John Marshall's going to improve to 1-5. Shawnee falls to 0-6. Coach Chris Burris gets his first win at John Marshall. So shout out to him. Shout out to all the guys that fought real hard tonight for their respective schools. As we like to remind you, our sponsors, SSM Health St. Anthony's, let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital help you get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405-218-2530. That's 218-2530.
We have Metro Technology Centers. Metro Technology Centers offers great courses and programs to allow you to have a great career. Learn more at metrotech.edu. Again, that's metrotech.edu.
And our last sponsor, Chuck Davis State Farm. Let State Farm Chuck Davis take care of you. Give him a call today at 405-378-8008. That's 378-8008. And as we get into our post-game wrap-up show, what a second half by John Marshall, really kick-started by Drennan, the kick return that he had for about 95 yards, and then he had a rushing touchdown, and then Middleton had a touchdown pass. So just a huge explosion of offense in the second half.
It's exactly what the doctor ordered. Coach Barris cooked it up. I don't know what he told his team, but it worked, as he's still talking to his team now. Definitely pulled it together. That's the best offensive performance, best offensive half we've seen the John Marshall Bears play. It was clean, not a lot of penalties in the fourth quarter. I mean, just getting straight to business.
And we'll see if they can carry that positive momentum over into the into the next game.
Second half of the season, man.
Yeah, the second half of this game could be the catalyst to the second half of the season, as John Marshall only 8 possessions on offense to Shawnee's 10. So time of possession wasn't on their side as well. As we'll get into our Big O's Pork and Dreams and Super Prep, they are proud sponsors of the player of the game. Our player of the game tonight, Jamin. I mean, it can either be Dorian Middleton or Kylan Drennan, wouldn't you say?
I mean, he spreaded the wealth tonight. I mean, he got a touchdown, returned that kick. He got a big interception in the second half. I mean, you could say his impact definitely changed the course of this game. Player of the game is going to go to number 17, Kylan Drennan.
The senior, shout out to him, man. He put the team on his back tonight, led by example in the 22-13 win. John Marshall over Shawnee. As we said, John Marshall moves to 1-5. Shawnee falls to 0-6. And for everyone here at Perry Broadcasting, we'd like to say thank you for listening. I'm Devin Bajek.
I'm Jamin Dawson.
And hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. We're out.
Let's ride.